Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the best damn movie-related show on the planet Earth, the John Campea Show, coming from right here on my YouTube channel. I am, of course, your host, John Campea, and it is an awesome honor and privilege, as it is every day, to have you, our international friends, gather around as we talk about our favorite things in the world: movies, movie news, TV, streaming, the Northman, the Moon Knight, Ambulance, all sorts of good stuff. And I'm not alone here today. Joining me right over here is the one and the only Mr. Robert Meyer Burnett. Robert, how you doing today, sir?
John, second episode of Moon Knight, come on. How am I doing? I'm doing exquisitely well.
And we are going to talk about Moon Knight episode 2 here in just a bit. Also joining us, sitting over here, is Chris Carr. Chris, how are you doing today?
I'm great. I got to watch Moon Knight this morning, and I get to see Sonic 2 tonight. Is it my birthday?
Ooh, that's a good couple of days. And then, of course, sitting beside her, it is Wednesday. We're joined by Aaron Cummings. Aaron, how you doing?
Well, I feel like it is just an Academy Award type of week for me, because last Friday I saw Tick, Tick, Boom finally. And finally, yes. And Andrew Garfield is quickly becoming my favorite actor. I truly believe the man can do anything.
I love that movie so much.
Yeah, I mean, 90s New York. I went to my first girly show in 97 in Times Square, and it was not as glamorous as Madonna made it look in the music video. But then, to top it off, I could have Tick, Tick, Boom, and then last night, Ambulance with John Campea. And I'm like, oh my God, all these award-worthy movies at once? I can't help myself.
Yeah. I mean, and listen, there's
That's what I would do.
We'll talk about
Ambulance and Tick, Tick, Boom. I feel like
interchangeable, really.
Yeah,
Look like the scales on Ethan Hawke's wrist.
We'll talk about Ambulance a little bit more lately, but yeah, there are some bonkers things in it that got big reactions out of Aaron. So I was Chris Rock to her Will Smith.
Yes.
Because she was like beating the shit out of me, like when these crazy things would happen. She's like, you see that?
Yes,
like,
somebody in the comments afterwards said, I'm pretty sure that John has puncture wounds in his arm and might have bled out.
Might have been bleeding out.
Might be bleeding out at the moment. We'll see if the show goes on tomorrow.
Did anyone in the theater sing along to Christopher Cross?
Obviously.
I mean, that's part of the whole thing. Anyway, guys, it's good to have you here. We are so glad you're here and decided to make this show part of your day today. Here's how today's show's going to go. We're going to break the show down into two parts. In the first half of the show, we're going to talk about some predetermined topics like Ambulance and Moon Knight and things like that. And then after that, we're going to take your live comments and questions. If you'd like to get a live comment or question on the show, simply use the super chat feature in the YouTube live chat, which I will turn on right now. Go ahead and throw in a comment or question. We'll read those off when we get to the end of the show. Now, I am going to turn off the super chats once we've reached maximum capacity for them. So that'll probably be about 5 minutes. So go ahead and send those in as you can. All right, guys. We got a lot of stuff to cover here today, so let's not waste any more time, and let's get right into it with an off the top. And let's start with this. Ezra Miller. It just seems like every day we got something to talk about Ezra Miller. Obviously, you guys know what's been going on. 2 years ago, the thing with the choke, then the whole thing at the bar, the karaoke, getting arrested. Then the next day we find a restraining order taken against him because he threatened to kill some people and all that kind of stuff, the weird online behavior and whatnot. But then yesterday, I told you guys on the show, I said, listen, I got a tip from somebody at Warner Brothers that they are discussing their options when it comes to Will Smith, when it comes to Ezra Miller. Sorry, it's interchangeable these days. When it comes to Ezra Miller. And I said, now look, to be clear, I don't know definitively what that means. What does it mean that they're discussing their options? Does it mean they're discussing how to get rid of him? Are they discussing how to just cover it up and play it off like nothing ever happened, like they did a couple of years ago? We said we don't know what that means. It might mean a lot, might mean nothing, but that I was told that they were discussing their options. Well, this morning, Rolling Stone magazine published an article with the headline that reads, Ezra Miller arrest prompts emergency Warner Brothers meeting about the star's future. This basically confirmed everything that I was told and that I mentioned to you guys yesterday about what was going on. Now, instead of trying to ad-lib it a bunch, let's just go in. I'm going to read some of the stuff that's in this article here to get a better idea about, what it is they're talking about. And they're saying the following. They're saying this. Where is it? On March 30th, Warner Brothers and DC executives held an emergency impromptu meeting to discuss Ezra Miller's future with the studio following the Flash star's recent arrest for disorderly conduct and harassment. According to knowledgeable source, the consensus in the room was to hit pause on any future projects involving Ezra Miller, including possible appearances in the DC cinematic universe. The studio's had more than a year before it had to make any decisions about a potential sequel to The Flash. Warner Brothers also had avoided making any key decisions on tentpoles ahead of Discovery taking control of Warner Media in a $43 billion mega merger. Warner Media chief Ann Sarnoff announced on Tuesday that she was exiting the company, as did Jason Kilar, and we talked about that yesterday, as AT&T spins off its entertainment division to Discovery. Last month, Warner Brothers moved Andre Muschietti's helmed first installment, The Flash, a production fraught with drama, from November 4th, 2022 to June 23rd, 2023. Now, here's where it gets concerning. One insider told Rolling Stone that Miller had, quote unquote, frequent meltdowns, including production last year on The Flash. While the insider stresses there was no violent outbursts, they described Miller as, quote unquote, losing it. Ezra would get a thought in his head and say, I don't know what I'm doing, the insider told Rolling Stone. And then the rest of the article just basically goes on to reaffirm everything else we had already heard at this point. Yeah, I should have turned off the super chats like a minute ago. Okay, so here, look, I know Ezra Miller's been coming up a lot. I am getting as tired about talking about the Ezra Miller situation as anybody else. But the reality is, we've got Fantastic Beasts coming out. The Flash is like one of the most highly anticipated, at least out of the DC camp, movies coming out. Where are they going to go with this after this? Because a lot of people have been saying that this Flash movie serves as an impromptu reset for the DC movie, for the DC cinematic universe, I should say. And the Flash is going to kind of be the epicenter of that. So clearly he was figuring a lot into whatever their future plans are going to be. I'm not saying that the DC universe was now going to be built around Ezra Miller, but he was clearly going to be a key part of whatever that future was. And now they're saying they're putting pause on anything else involving him moving forward. And we said yesterday that from a PR point of view, that he was a walking powder keg, that he was a walking nightmare that you never knew when to do. And this is all a result of Warner Brothers failing to do anything about it or address it 2 years ago when that incident happened outside of the bar. But now here we are. Rob, let me go over to you on this. So we are hearing now from Rolling Stone that, yes, indeed, they did have meetings to discuss their options. They're saying that he was a problem on set of The Flash. They're saying they're going to put pause on any projects involving him moving forward. What do you think about the report from Rolling Stone, and what do you think ultimately is going to happen here?
Well, I think it's unfortunate. You know, I think Ezra Miller is a fine actor. I really liked him, and we have to talk about Kevin. Let's talk about Kevin.
We need to talk about Kevin?
We need to talk about Kevin. I thought he was phenomenal in that. I loved him in Perks of Being a Wallflower. You know, in the Fantastic Beasts movies, he's great. And I really liked him as the Flash. He is a talented actor. But the thing is, in this day and age, with the amount of money that these tentpole movies cost, there is no time or inclination to put up with that kind of behavior on a set. And some people just they're not wired to, I mean, he's now carrying a 9-figure movie, a movie in the hundreds of millions of dollars. And you know, there are many performers in Hollywood, many that could front a movie like that and be a complete joy to work with. Now, I understand it's an incredible amount of pressure on anyone, any performer. It could be the most amenable actor in the world. But to have that kind of pressure when you're front and center on a film that costs over $100 million, I don't even know what that's like. So when he says things like in this article, I don't know what I'm doing, I've seen actors that say that, and many actors don't because they don't communicate with their director well. When I hear an actor talk about that, at least he's worried about his performance and what he's doing, like assuming what's there. So, you know, clearly, I hope he obviously needs to get some kind of help, and I hope he gets that kind of help because I would love to see him continue on and develop a rich career. But on the other hand, I also hate to see performers do these kinds of things because it's not fair to the crew. It's not fair to the director. It's not fair to the writer. It's not fair to the studio. And it's not fair to the other actors. And, it's like what Laurence Olivier told Dustin Hoffman on the set of Marathon Man. Dustin, it's acting.
Look, and here's the other thing about this too. And I said this back when the original incident happened with the choking and everything. I said, Warner Brothers isn't doing Ezra Miller any favors by not addressing this.
Yes.
This is only going to hurt Ezra Miller later on. If you address it now, it'll course correct later. And here we are. Anyway, Chris, this has been a topic of conversation a lot recently for all the wrong reasons. But now we're hearing from Rolling Stone that Warner Brothers is indeed taking this seriously, that what I was told yesterday about the meetings is true, and they're saying they're going to pause any future stuff with him at the moment. Then now we're hearing for the first time, at least this is the first time I'm hearing about on-set problems as well. What do you think about the article? What stood out to you, and what do you think happens from here?
I mean, the big takeaway from this article is that it's nice to see action is actually being considered.
Yeah.
And that's what we really need to talk about. Considered. Action's not being taken. Action being considered.
Considering is an action.
Exactly. Having a great talk about something doesn't do anything. As we keep talking about, the theme of these shows the last few weeks has been changed behavior. Changed behavior is what atones for the sins of the past, all right? And that's why cancel culture isn't always great, because people should be able to grow and change. That being said, Ezra's pattern of behavior has shown that they definitely need help, that they are doing things that are not great, that they have a pattern here that they continue to exhibit and continue to show everyone the person they're being right now. So there definitely needs to be a change here. There needs to be some kind of intervention when it comes to alcohol use and things like that. Once again, to the folks in the chat here who keep saying things about people having bipolar disorder and that's why this happens, once again, family members of mine have bipolar. This does not mean you are predispositioned to being violent. And we really need to stop that part of this narrative, because it's a damaging narrative that further isolates people within the mental health community. So let's knock that off and let's have a better discussion, right? We have a whole bunch of things that could be factors, that could be explanations. None of them are excuses. Not a single thing here that Ezra is doing is an excuse for their behavior. So we need to have them sit down with themselves, really, really think about how they've been doing, the kind of life that they want to have, the kind of things they've been doing that affects other people's well-being and safety, that affects film franchises, and really take a hard look at themselves. I really
Aaron,
don't think they should be on this.
I remember when we were talking about Ezra Miller another time, and this is before the report came out about on-set incidents. I remember you saying, I guarantee you there were incidents on set. I guarantee you there were incidents on set. Now, of course, we hadn't heard of any at this time. Now we are hearing about them. Anyway, what stood out to you about the article, and what do you think happens from here?
Well, first of all, Rob, I love that you pointed out that the quote of "I have no idea what I'm doing." Okay, we do not need to read anything into that. I have said that a million times, and I've never had this sort of, breakdown or issue, whatever is going on in their life. That is not an uncommon thing. You could be in the middle of a very challenging scene, or a scene, like you said, that doesn't have a very clear direction, or you're just having a moment where you go, geez, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I mean, we've all had those moments at work where we just go, what am I doing right now? Oh my God. So the fact that particular quote, that doesn't tell me anything. And I don't think that we should assume that means that he's falling, or that they're falling apart, or anything like that. I think that the behavior that we've seen with these repeated arrests, and the fact that there are reports of problematic behavior on set, that's more something to look at. Yes, John, you're absolutely right. The fact that there was the incident at the bar that was never addressed, that was just kind of swept under the rug, oh, this will go away. When there was problematic behavior on set, there should have been something done, i.e. conversations with representatives, conversations of, hey, we are filming this movie right now. We can make changes. On the set of Blade 3, Wesley Snipes was problematic, if you want to use that. That's putting it kindly.
Yeah, he physically attacked David Goyer.
Yeah.
I mean, he physically attacked the director of the film.
Yes. And guess what happened? There were days that he would not come out of his trailer. And so what did David do? He went, okay, Ryan, Jessica, so you guys are going to say his dialogue today, and we're going to rewrite this scene right now, and you guys are going to do everything that he was supposed to do. So when people got pissed off of, why is the Wesley Snipes in the movie that much? It's because Wesley wouldn't come out of effing trailer, and they had to rewrite the scene in that moment. So if there was this kind of problematic behavior, obviously you can't do a movie called The Flash without The Flash. But guess what? There should have been conversations then about, okay, clearly this behavior is not stopping and there's something that's going on, and we still have 2 years before this movie comes out and this person has to do press for us. Clearly Ezra Miller cannot do a press junket because what are they going to talk about? All of this stuff.
Yeah.
So, and also I concur with what Chris said about, like, they're not saying they're doing something. They're saying they're talking about doing something. And by the way, I love how they say an emergency impromptu meeting 3 days later. How about the person gets arrested and everyone cancels their next meeting, hops on a Zoom call and goes, we need to talk about this Monday morning.
Well, now, to be fair, like it says the meeting happened a week ago. So it happened on March 30th.
It happened on Wednesday.
Okay.
Wednesday. He was arrested Sunday night. So what happened on Monday and Tuesday that nobody thought this was a big deal? I'm going to venture a guess and go, oh, wow, this Will Stuffsmith seems to really be building, and there's only so long that we're going to be able to keep Ezra under the covers on this. We might want to get ahead of this and just have a conversation about it. I really think that they thought maybe we can sweep this under the rug too. And they realized 2 days later, people are still talking about it.
That is Warner Brothers game book, right? That's their playbook. Shh, that's been their playbook. And I have said they're going to do nothing about this. It looks like maybe I was wrong. I hope so. For their sake, for Ezra's sake, for whatever, because I concur with Rob. I think Ezra's a really good performer. I like him as the Flash. And so I would love to see them continue on playing the role. I would love to see them evolve in the role. I would love to see them go on in the DC universe, but only if they, get their shit together. Anyway, guys.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. We got to move on at this point. Go. But guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Rolling Stone is saying some interesting things here now about they are having these discussions, as I reported yesterday, that there were problems on set, that they're talking about holding them out of any future projects right now. What do you guys think about the article? What do you think is going to happen? Whatever your thoughts are, jump down into the comment section below and leave those thoughts there. Okay, guys. With that down, let's move into our main topics here today, shall we? And how do we select our main topics here on the John Campea Show? Well, it's really rather simple. You see, you guys come up with our main topics. Whenever you come across a big topic, issue, or story that you guys feel we need to cover as a main topic on the show, just go anytime 24/7 over to www.thejohncampeashow.com/contact. Once you guys get there, you're going to see a form. Fill it out with your topic or question. It's absolutely free. Hit submit, and then maybe, just maybe, you might see your submission featured as a main topic here on the John Campea Show. With that down, Chris, what is our first main topic today?
Our first topic comes from Vic Barth. Hey, John, I noticed you put up your out of the theater reaction to Ambulance tonight, and I was wondering if you and Aaron could go a little more into it. How well does the action work? Was Jake held back by the dialogue in the movie? How would you rate it as a Michael Bay film? Thanks so much for all you do, and bring on the filthy.
All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, Vic. All right, yes, went to go see Ambulance last night. And listen, I'm not afraid to tell you, I'm a Michael Bay guy. I mean, I hate all of his Transformers movies except for the first one. I love the first Transformers movie. But there's a lot of Michael Bay movies I really like. You know who else loves Michael Bay movies? Michael Bay. Because in Ambulance, where, some movies like to pay homage to their favorite films, Ambulance is just one giant homage to the glorious career of Michael Bay. It's Michael Bay movie references all over the place. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think some people were having fun with it. So I just a little bit there. But yeah, there were a lot of Michael Bay references in this movie. Look, I'm not going to lie to you. You guys know I haven't been terribly excited about this. They showed Aaron and I a preview for it at CinemaCon 7-8 months ago, however long ago that was. And I'm like, everybody in the theater was excited about it. I was like, I didn't think it looked that good. I haven't thought the trailers looked all that good, but still, it's a Michael Bay movie. It's going to bring the Bayhem. Who doesn't like Bayhem? And, it's a Michael Bay movie. Ambulance is definitely a Michael Bay movie, which means a couple of things. Number one, it means you're going to get bonkers action. And like that's one of the hallmarks you're going into a Michael Bay movie to hopefully get. Even a Michael Bay movie that I really did not like, which was Six Underground. Oh my God, it had some beautiful action choreography. I mean, seriously, some of the action sequences were sublime in that. Really, really good. But the movie overall was horrible. So that action didn't save it. So you're going in expecting some really good bonkers action. And all this whole movie's marketing campaign is built around is crazy car chase. And guess what? It delivers. Mm-hmm. It delivers the crazy car chase. Unfortunately, it doesn't deliver a lot else. Let me talk for a second about some of the things it does well. Jake Gyllenhaal does his damnedest to make this movie watchable. Mm-hmm. I mean, him and Yahya, their chemistry together as brothers. And by the way, I buy it immediately. There are some like sibling stuff in movies where you don't really buy these two people grew up together. Totally bought these two grew up together.
Are they supposed to be actual brothers or?
Jake Gyllenhaal's family adopts
took
Yahya
him in, yes.
family.
So they grew up together. They grew up as brothers, and they are, as Jake Gyllenhaal says in the movie, he's my real brother, right? That's good moment in the film, by the way. That's a good moment in the film. So Jake Gyllenhaal, yeah, that's there. Yeah, I got nothing else. I got nothing else. So like the Bayhem's there, the action's there. If all you're looking for, it reminds me of Zack Snyder's movie Sucker Punch. Where it's a movie where if you put this movie on mute and just watch it and kind of make up your own story in your head, it's visually a masterpiece.
I have 2 Sucker Punch hot toys.
Really?
Of course
I do.
you do.
I have a baby doll hot toy.
I've told you the story about Sucker Punch. I went to do never. I've told the story too many times. Anne's sorority sister was one of the stars of Sucker Punch, and anyway, but so yeah, if you turn off the sound and you just watch it, you're like, wow, this is a pretty impressive visual spectacle. I think Sucker Punch was that, and I think Ambulance is that. But gather around and let me tell you the tale of how this movie begins. One brother goes to meet the other brother for coffee, in which the one brother says to him, oh, hey, yeah, want to try some coffee? Got a great coffee maker. Great. Hey, why don't you come rob a bank with me right now? While his crew is literally in the car out front of where they're drinking coffee, honking the horn, saying, come on, we got to go. We're going to go. We're on a schedule. Got to go rob this bank. And it's like, he literally just walked in to have a coffee. I was like, hey, let's go rob a bank right now. We've got this intricately planned out bank robbery, and we're just going to go do that right now. Why don't you come with us? I was like, what?
It's like, didn't anyone see
Sibling
Heat?
stuff.
Yeah.
And Heat, the cook, the poor guy, he was on parole. He was and Neil McCauley just sees him and says, come with us right now.
Right.
And look what happened to that dude.
And it's always like and I love how it's an intricately planned bank robbery, but we're missing one guy, and
we didn't think about that till right now.
We didn't realize it until right now. Oh, and by the way, we're not sure if we're going to take the Mercedes or the van, and so there's some confusion about that. Oh, and then the van is going to, yeah.
And then this carefully planned, masterminded bank robbery. And you see it in the trailer, so I'm not giving anything away. 40 people in the bank, and Jake Gyllenhaal's just walking around without a mask. Hey, everybody. It's like, dude, you live and work in LA. You just walked into a bank, no mask, robbing bank. What do you think is going to happen? Anyway, so like, yeah, I'm like, instantly, I'm ready to check out of this movie already. Like we were 10 minutes in, and I'm like, I'm ready to go. This is ridiculous. But then, they get into it. Then the car, once they get into the ambulance, by the way, what's the name of the girl? Again, you knew the actress's name. Can somebody look that up? Chris, can you pull that up if you can? But it's also before the action starts. We're only in the first 10 minutes. We meet this female paramedic, right? Who is, of course, it's a Michael Bay movie.
Isaac Gonzalez,
yes. So, of course, it's a Michael Bay movie. She's not just a paramedic. She's the world's fucking hottest paramedic. Of course,
and
right?
she has one perpetually perfectly rounded tendril that is always just to the side of her eye. No matter
doesn't
what's
pop
going
out when
on.
you're in danger?
No, it
that could happen.
It never flattens, no matter how much she's sweating or how much blood. I
thought all leading ladies just genetically had that.
Curls.
And then So as we're getting introduced to these characters, she's sitting down having coffee with a newbie paramedic, and they're having coffee together. And they're like, this is where they're explaining the background. And the newbie's like, well, everybody knows your story. You were a med school ace, and you dropped out. And everybody knows you're the best paramedic in the city. You can keep anybody alive for 20 minutes. That's the catch, right? Everybody knows you can keep anybody alive for 20 minutes. But also you're the one paramedic that nobody wants to work with. And I'm sitting like, yeah, nobody wants to fucking work with her. Nobody wants to work with her.
I'm sure that somebody could dig deep and deal with her personality issues and just stare at her. Right, exactly.
But now I feel free to tell you guys those things because these are all things that happen in the first 10 minutes of the movie. But the logic is done. There's no logic. So all you're left with is this magnificent mayhem. Oh, and by the way, because I haven't said it on this show yet, I did say in our Out of Theater review, is this. The movie is called Ambulance, but it could have been called Michael Bay Presents. Look, everybody, I bought a drone. Because every fucking thing in this movie is, woo, look at me, I've got a drone now. I spent $300 on this drone. I better get my money's worth out of it. Well, that guy's eating a hot dog. Fuck it, use a drone shot.
Totally.
As he threw it, everything was drone. But okay, whatever. So, yeah, listen, I didn't hate the movie. It definitely has moments of fun. I mean, it absolutely has moments of fun. It's just that it's a Michael Bay movie. You're going to get great visuals, great action, and a lot of stuff that just makes zero sense in the world. And for some people, that's going to be fine. But one last thing I will say about it, but even the great thing about this movie, the car chasing, it gets tiring. It's like, okay, how many times am I going to see Yaya go, God, turn left, turn the wheel really hard, hear the screeching tires, and see the ambulance semi-drift? Okay, that's the 19th time that's happened. How many more times do I got to watch it? I mean, again, I'm not taking away from the action. I'm just saying after a while, it gets like, this feels like a good third act to a movie, not a great movie. But I'll tell you, a bunch of people did walk out having fun, and one of them was Aaron. Aaron, what were your thoughts overall about Ambulance?
You know, I am not immediately like, Michael Bay, woo, let's go. I go, okay, Michael Bay, we know what we're getting into. And so I went into it with that mentality. You know, if you're planning on having, if you want to see The Pianist and you go see Ambulance, you might be slightly disappointed. And yes, there are so many holes. And for me, someone who likes to follow plot, even as crazy as, Avatar, I'm like, Blue People, I'm into it because it all tracks. But even something simple like, hey, let's go eat. I know this great enchilada place. They're sitting down, they're eating, and she's like, finish your sushi. I'm like, why are they eating sushi?
In an enchilada place.
Something so silly like that, kind of goes, whoa. But also, by the way, in case you were wondering, Keurig makes really good coffee. And how do I know? Because when Jake Gyllenhaal invites Yahya Abdul-Mateen into his place of residence, he goes, come have a cup of coffee. Yeah, we just got this new Keurig machine. It makes really good coffee. We decided to splurge on it, because a man who has already established that he's stupidly wealthy has to splurge on a $200 coffee maker.
What happened? That's why he's wealthy. He saves money.
He hands him the coffee and sits there and looks at him and he goes, it's good coffee, huh?
I know. Michael Bay's product placement is crazy.
How many Keurigs did Michael Bay get?
And Ford.
Keurig and Ford presents Ambulance. That's the situation.
Yes,
pretty much.
It is absolutely. This movie is sponsored by Keurig and Ford for sure. And yes, she is. Is it Ilya? What?
Isa?
Eiza. Okay, Eiza Gonzalez. Yes, she is. Not only is she absolutely beautiful to look at. In fact, there's one really fun moment that. You know how normally a director will do an over-the-shoulder shot? Like the camera will be here. You'll see the back of my head, my shoulder to get a close-up. There's a whole scene where that happens, except instead of my head and shoulder, it's her perfectly rounded butt as she's leaning over and the camera's on Jake. And I'm like,
that's just Michael Bay.
You're literally just giving us a profile shot of his butt. I don't even know what he's saying because I'm not even paying attention to him.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's wrong with that shot?
Nothing wrong at all.
That's
I appreciate it. I very much appreciate it. But it's just like, if you go in looking for, I feel like there should be a Michael Bay bingo game and you just can hit all the things. I found it really fun. And yes, Yaya and Jake, man, hats off.
Bango.
Because
Michael
they
Bango.
were literally being, I mean, it was as if they summoned the spirit of Stella Adler to help them guide the atrocity of dialogue to the finish line. Because there were moments that I was watching and I was sweating. I was like, oh my God, how did you just make that line work? As an actor, I was like, bravo. I mean, the acting, even the guy in the bank, even the bank teller, Kim, poor girl, like the acting is really phenomenal across the board. I was very impressed. He got great performers. And yes, it is absolutely plausible. This movie, some things happen in that ambulance that make Grey's Anatomy look like a docuseries. It's so unbelievable. And I'm just going, what is going on? But also, I do like the fact that it opens and it ends with some really beautiful, like they just have these shots of the boys when they were young brothers. And I thought that was really beautifully done. It kind of adds a touch of, whimsy, emotion. I wasn't expecting to feel some feels. And there's something that happens with a little girl at the beginning. And maybe it's because I'm a new parent. I don't know. I actually got really choked up. I was like, oh my God. So I wasn't expecting to feel some feelings during a Michael Bay movie. And I was pleasantly surprised that I did. Overall, I thought it was a really fun ride. I am a passionate lover and owner of a Dodge Challenger. It is like my dream. I mean, like I get lady hard-ons when I see them, and to see so many fall to their untimely demise was really hard for me. So the car chases were great fun. If you're going in to see just a fun movie, you don't have to think about, just don't overthink it. In fact, don't think it at all. Just go for the ride and have fun.
Isn't this a remake of a French film that's supposed to be brief and whimsical?
L'ambulance.
That was really good French, Aaron.
Wow.
Yeah, and the movie was too long.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie
I
was
was gonna
too long.
ask,
They
is
could have
this
chopped
something
about
Ray
half an
Ora is
hour.
gonna love, or
No.
No.
He'll tire out after about 45 minutes of
For
this.
sure.
Yeah.
I do have a question for you though,
Okay, sure.
on what it delivers. Did you get a hot dog at the end of this after all of that drone footage of hot dog eating?
I did not. No.
Oh, then I'm out.
They gave us
Yeah.
a free bag of popcorn, and because I didn't have dinner, so they gave us a bag of popcorn. And I polished off that bag of popcorn. Which popcorn, even movie popcorn, on an empty stomach,
Yeah.
yeah, not so
That's
good.
how you
Anyway,
get diverse
guys,
chocolate.
question is for you. What do you think about this? Have you been looking forward to Ambulance? Is this a movie that's been sitting there on your anticipation list? Have you seen it already? Maybe one of those advanced fan screenings? Whatever your guys' thoughts are, jump down to the comment section below and leave us your thoughts there.
I'm so
We
going.
want to take a moment and thank the sponsor of this video, Coinbase. Have you found yourself curious about getting involved in cryptocurrency, but if you're like a couple of friends of mine who have been really interested in it, they felt kind of overwhelmed by it, like not even knowing how to get started? Well, that's where Coinbase comes in, because they make learning to buy and sell crypto simple. Coinbase offers a trusted and easy to use platform to buy, sell, and spend cryptocurrency. They support the most popular digital currencies on the market and make them accessible to everyone. They offer portfolio management and protection, learning resources, and a mobile app so you can trade securely and monitor your crypto all in one place. And that's why millions of people all over the world in 100 different countries trust Coinbase with their digital assets. So whether you're looking to diversify, just getting started, or searching for a better way to access crypto markets, start today with Coinbase. And for a limited time, new users can get $10 in free Bitcoin when you sign up today at coinbase.com/Campea. Sign up at coinbase.com/Campea for $10 in free Bitcoin. This offer is for a limited time only, so be sure to sign up today. That's coinbase.com/Campea. And a big thank you to the folks at Coinbase. Go, guys, and get your $10 of free Bitcoin now for sponsoring this episode of the John Campea Show. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to main topic number 2.
Yeah.
Chris, what is our second main topic today?
This one comes from Kenneth Fuller. Greetings and salutations. I don't know how Disney does it, but I just finished watching the second episode of Moon Knight, and I personally thought it was even better than the first one. The conversations between Mark and Steven were mesmerizing, and I loved how much of Khonshu we're getting. What did you guys think of the episode? And do you think it can keep up this great pace through the last 4 episodes?
All right. Thanks a lot for sending that in, Kenneth. And yeah, now we're not going to talk about Moon Knight episode 2 in a spoilery way. We're going to do that at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time today. If you want some open spoiler discussion about Moon Knight episode 2 and it's all spoilery goodness, come back and join us at 4 p.m. Los Angeles time, because if you haven't seen the episode yet, that gives you plenty of time to go and catch it. So make sure you come back for that. But we can talk about it in a non-spoilery kind of way. So I watched the first episode of Moon Knight last week, and you guys know I've talked about it. I was so pleasantly surprised by just how good it was. Like, I'd heard good things, but man, that show just... Episode 1 grabbed me. This is what more shows should do. Like, screw these slow builds. Oh, you got to get to like episode 7 before you... No. Like, if you're a TV show, it is not my job to hang in there with you. It's your job to grab my attention right away. And Moon Knight did that. And I'm not going to lie, I was kind of maybe half suspecting maybe a little bit of a sophomore slump going to the second one. I mean, like, and I remember thinking to myself, I don't need episode 2 to be as good as episode 1. Just still be good. I think I preferred episode 2 over episode 1. I thought this was even better. It found a balance of giving us action, cool moments, character development, story, fun lines, like the whole bit in a really visually appealing way. I fell in love with the Steven character in episode 1. I just love him even more after
So sweet.
episode 2. And as we kind of predicted, we thought we were going to get more Mark in the next episode, and we do. We do get more Mark. Well, again, we're not going to go more detail. I was thinking we're going to see more Khonshu, and we got more Khonshu. And again, handsome Hawke shows us that he should have been in comic book movies a long time ago. Because, man, that dude can bring a villain. He can really bring a villain. So all I'm going to say at this point is that I thought it was terrific. There is one scene in it where, you know, they're looking at security footage of what happened when that jackal attacked Steven the night before. For those of you who watched the show already, I just thought that was great. That scene was fantastic. And even hearing the conversations between Mark and Steven, and again, we'll go into it in the spoiler part of the show, like later this afternoon, but something definitive that Steven tells Mark just tells you Steven's a good guy. And he will go to extreme lengths to make sure people don't get hurt. I mean, and he basically lays something down for Mark. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like this. So he's not just some, you know, weak little character. He's meek, yes, but he's got strong conviction at the same time. And like, I'm watching this, and Oscar Isaac, I mean, we said this after episode 1. Oh my God.
So good.
Oscar Isaac, man.
So good.
So good in this. I absolutely, so I'll just speak for myself. To me, this is the best episode yet. It's only 2 episodes, but still, this is the best episode yet. I cannot wait for episode 3. Rob, you know, this was not the show. So far, Moon Knight has not been the show that you would have been expecting a year ago. So it's been different, but I know you really liked episode 1. You and I have not talked about this yet. What did you think of episode 2?
I loved it. I mean, first of all, this show is so cinematic. It's absolutely beautiful. And, you know, they really expanded the mythology. Like you said, Ethan Hawke is a great villain. And there's a couple of scenes over a bowl of lentil soup where they're just talking with one another.
I love that scene.
And what was really interesting is it's the way it was directed, the camera, the camera gets really close on Ethan Hawke's face when he's explaining.
Being menacing.
Is that me?
I think that's you.
Rob, it's a hot set.
I apologize for that. My phone's never gone off. You know what? That is a faux pas on a set. Sorry about that. That's never happened before. But I loved it. And like when it gets in close, I like that Ethan Hawke he's got this kind of, as he's aging, this craggly face, and you know his teeth are not perfectly straight, and they never have been, and he's just like leaning into the frame. But he's got this quiet menace to him, and I'm like, this guy is dope. I mean, and when you find out what he's gonna do, like as the plot is revealed, I'm like, I might join his cult. I'm like,
It was
like,
pretty good. It was a
nah,
good-looking
you
goal.
know, I'm thinking, you know me, 'cause-
I get to be around all these hot people.
yeah, and they're all like-minded, and they're all watching weird videos of nature.
I get a free
Like,
tattoo.
Free tattoo.
It just really, you know what I love about this? This is a show. It is a smart show. It's intriguing, and like you said, the we don't quite know everything that's going on, but at the same time, you've got F. Murray Abraham walking around. Khonshu is now a physical, entity that's showing up and talking. And when Eternals was over, I'm like, how is the MCU going to deal with the cosmology of all this? Now that you've got Celestials coming out of the oceans and the Celestials coming to Earth, how is humanity going to deal with the fact that there are Celestials? Now you've got warring Egyptian gods or whatever. So do the Celestials know the Egyptian gods? Was one of them snapped away by Thanos? And how is it all... I'm watching this. I'm fascinated by it. I like everything that they're creating in 2 episodes. I'm like, it's an amalgamation of all these different elements of the comics, but I'm kind of loving it. I'm loving all of the whole, and it really is. It was not the Moon Knight show, like you said, that I was expecting or maybe even wanted, but it's the Moon Knight show that we deserve, and it's freaking great. And I think they're defining the character from now on. I mean, they've taken this amalgamation of all these different great moments in Moon Knight history and kind of put it together in this new confection that really works. And like you said, the heart and soul of this is Oscar Isaac.
So good.
Man, this is an Emmy award-winning performance that he's giving. And he is so good. And so is Ethan Hawke. And I don't know the name of the woman.
Oh, who's playing
Layla?
There's
Layla?
yeah, let's call it. I didn't want to spoil it, but she's great too. And like when she is speaking French or Arabic, I think she actually is Arabic or something. Maybe she's from Morocco. She's great too. And I'm like, this show, I love the fact that it's very concentrated. It's not all over the place. It's intriguing. Dude, I'm loving this.
And 2 things I want to point out. Sir, what you
I was going to just say her name is May El Kamaway, and she's Egyptian and Palestinian.
All right. 2 things I want to point out here that were interesting to me. With the Summon the Suit, we've now, I believe, seen everything that's been in the promotion for Moon Knight. I believe we have seen now every shot.
Well, we haven't seen the shot where the cape unfurls
Did we not?
like the moon crescent. I don't think
okay, maybe not. You're right. But maybe other than that, I believe every major thing we've seen in the promos, I feel like now we're going to episode 3 with, okay, now everything we're going to see in episode 3 is going to be different. Also, wanted kudos to Disney, even though they still seem to be holding on to this ass backwards way of thinking that 6 episodes constitutes a season. It does not. But kudos to them. They're getting rid of these bullshit 34-minute episode, 39-minute last night, 52-minute episode.
It was a meal.
Yeah.
Full
we're
meal.
getting proper length episodes, which I really like. Chris, you had a chance to watch the episode. I know you really liked episode 1. How did you feel about episode 2?
I loved episode 2, and it felt like it went by so quickly. Where you get to that end moment, and you're like, "What? No!" So to answer our viewer's question too, of if can they keep up this momentum, they better with 4 episodes left.
Yeah.
If they fumble now, I'm gonna be disappointed. Not as disappointed as that man over there, but I will not be a happy camper. This episode was great. All the shots of Khonshu are so good. What a cool character design that looks epic. There were only maybe a few CGI moments where I went, oh, that's TV. That's a TV budget there. But for the most part, this is so cinematic. And I love that you just understand every character's perspective already. Even as this mystery is unfurling further and further, and we're getting a little bit more Mark, we're getting a little bit more of some of the other characters here. You can understand everyone's perspective of why they are doing the things they are doing.
Yeah.
Even amidst all the confusion that Steven is embodying. We are all Steven, being like, what the fuck is going on? It's so, so well done. And yeah, I'd totally be a member of that cult. I love the heck out of lentil soup. And they watched whale movies with headphones so you don't have to interact with each other.
And they all speak 3 languages?
Yeah, I love that. By the way, I got to give a
My
shout
dream.
out to the directors, Benson and Morehouse, who directed this episode. They have quickly become my favorite filmmaking team. They made Resolution, they made The Endless, they made Spring, they made Synchronic with Anthony Mackie. Then they just directed episodes of something else I was watching that I really liked. They're really great. and they really have a really interesting handle on genre filmmaking in terms of they do really unexpected things. If you haven't seen Resolution and The Endless, watch them.
By the way, I think your seat is slowly sinking.
Yeah.
Because you've dropped like way out.
You're a tiny guy now.
Way up. Anyway,
Rob is shrinking on us.
I did want to add real quick, make sure you scan that QR code too once you get to see a storage unit, because that'll take you to some comics.
really?
That'll take you to number 33 of Werewolf by Night. Such a stupid name still. When else are you a werewolf? But you get a comic. So that's really fun.
Now, I know, Aaron, there are two things working against you. Number one, you were at Ambulance, the screening last night.
And I was so jazzed up. It was
you
hard
have a baby.
And I
That's
have a
the
baby.
other one. But
it
did
was
you have a
going through a
chance to
sleep
watch
progression. I
Moon Knight
did
episode
watch
2?
it. Yes, I did. I first of all, I had not seen Moon Knight last week, so my thoughts. Absolutely loved it. Was thrilled. I thought it was fantastic. And who doesn't love a little wham in your car chase scene? I mean, I felt like it was perfectly placed. I loved last week's episode. I was not disappointed by this week's episode. I also thought that the addition, since you already brought it up, of Layla was fantastic. I was really excited because after the first episode, I was like, oh gosh, am I going to feel all this angst about like, how is he going to get out of this? Or is there going to be someone that shows up that I go, a guiding light that'll help explain something, someone that he can talk to, because he clearly can't go to the police or a therapist or anybody else. And I love the fact that there's just another person, and I will not spoil anything else, but I love the introduction of Layla's character. And also, yes, what's brilliant about this is that if you are the villain, you never think that you're the villain, no matter, I mean, every person, and I won't name names, but historically, every person who's done terrible things in the world did it for a reason that they thought made sense. It made sense to them. And so getting to see the different perspectives, whether it's Khonshu or it's Ethan Hawke's character or Steven or Mark, any of these people, I felt like this episode really gives us insight into each of their perspectives. And at one point I was like, totally, Khonshu, I'm on your side. Like, I get it. You gotta do this. And then I'm like, ooh, Ethan Hawke, I kind of want to be in your cult. And then I'm like, ooh, Steven, you just be done with all this. I mean, I'm kind of, every time I hear their perspective, I shift my perspective of whose side I'm on. And that's exciting. I also, we've said that Ethan Hawke is killing it in the acting, but I just want to point out just for exactly what he's doing when he's having this dialogue between Steven and Mark. The way they're shooting it is obviously he's not talking to his reflection. He's not talking to anything. He's either talking to a blank screen or like a green screen, and then someone is reading dialogue off camera.
Right.
And they're usually like, "Hi, Steven, how are you doing today?" But I would love to see a behind the scenes. Like, does he have an assistant who's a really good aspiring actor who's reading off camera dialogue with him? How are those shot? Because the way that it just naturally flows, that really takes chemistry between two actors. And for him to have chemistry with himself without himself being there, but also in a different accent, it's just...
Yeah, I heard his brother, Oscar Isaac's brother, is reading him his lines.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, because he's speaking to this person like there is a familiarity, like you have lived inside of my body, like you and I are connected, even though we're not the same. And so it makes a lot of sense that it would be Oscar Isaac's brother, someone close to him that would be able to... That is a great behind the scenes. So Moon Knight, if you're looking for some behind the scenes stuff that people want to watch, I bet the dynamic between the two of them when they're filming those scenes would be really exciting to watch.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, question is for you. Did you have a chance to see Moon Knight episode 2? I thought it was even better than the first episode. I cannot wait for episode 3. What did you guys think about it? Don't forget, come back and join us for open spoiler discussion about it at 4 p.m. today. Jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Okay, guys, with that down, let's move on to main topic number 3. Chris, what is our third main topic today?
Third topic comes from Kane. God kveld fra Norge. Good evening from Norway. I'm so sorry if I butchered that. I'm not Norwegian. John and company. Like you, I am dying to see the Northman, and these first reactions are making me want to see it even more. These reactions are calling it Edgar's masterpiece, really more than The Witch and The Lighthouse. Does this raise your excitement, and does this seem like an early Oscar contender? Might be a bit ambitiously early to say this, but still. Stay cool, stay filthy, and Visela Valhalla. See you in Valhalla.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Kane. And you guys know, I've said it on this show for a long time. Now that the Batman is in our rearview mirror, The Northman is my number one most anticipated movie of the year. I knew next to nothing about it other than its existence when we were at CinemaCon. And then they played us this big preview of it. And I'm like, oh my God, this looks so good. I also got a thing for Viking culture, so whatever. But I'm like, oh my God, this looks so good. And I've been excited about it. And then recently there was like a little controversy out there in some of the trades, like where Eggers was complaining a bit that he didn't get final edit of the movie and things like that. And so instantly you saw some people online who seem to not understand that movie making is a collaborative art and going, oh, well, now it's going to suck. It's going to suck. It's going to suck. Whatever. I'm like, oh, well, let's see. I'm still my most anticipated movie left for the rest of the year. And yes, I include Doctor Strange and Thor and all that into it. The Northman is the movie that's got my attention. Well, now the first reactions are out. Hand this fucking movie the Oscar right now. Because the people who are writing about this movie are tripping over themselves. Like absolutely tripping over themselves. I want us to go into and talk about some of these reactions. The headline in IndieWire reads, The Northman's first reactions, Robert Eggers' breathtakingly gnarly third feature is a ferocious film. By the way, I'm not going to read all the reactions, but a lot of them use this term, blood-soaked. And there's a lot of bloodletting in this movie. So let's just go on and just start reading some of the reactions. All right. Jack King wrote, it is a crying shame that The Northman has been so criminally mishandled because it's precisely what blockbuster cinema should aspire to and still has the potential to be. Formally audacious but welcoming, easy to follow but not, simply a guided tour, big old 5 stars, Bjork. Of course, Berg's in this. Kate writes, The Northman or 2+ hours of me flipping between hell yes and oh no with startling regularity. My buddy Eric Eisenberg writes, The Northman is spectacular. It's surprisingly Eggers' most accessible film, but no less immersive in its authentic feel. It's a gripping revenge story that keeps its hand around your throat and visually stunning. Compelled me to whisper, holy shit, several times. Let's see. David Ulrich writes, all you need to know about The Northman, a $90 million Viking revenge movie directed by Robert Eggers. Is that every single moment of it feels like a $90 million Viking revenge movie directed by Robert Eggers. David Fear writes, imagine a Frank Frazetta painting, not unlike that mural painted on the side of your weed dealer's Chevy van, suddenly came to life for 2 full hours. That's The Northman. I give it a 5 out of 5 calling Ravens.
That's the only review you need to hear.
Eric went on to write more. He wrote, Robert Eggers' The Northman is hauntingly visceral and super transfixing. You definitely won't be able to take your eyes off this blood-soaked revenge tale. Alexander Skarsgård is a beast and ferocious throughout. Nicole Kidman has a couple of scenes that floored me, daring and devilish. Also, we have Cameron Frewer who writes, The Northman is incredible. Like, fall to your knees. How the hell did they do this good? Breathtakingly gnarly, too. It deserves to be a massive hit. Eggers Hive assemble. Tormus writes, watching Robert Eggers' Viking revenge epic The Northman, I often alternated between clapping and squeaking. Stunning choreography, gruesome in ways that I can't fully believe. Not without its setbacks, but it's the kind of film whose existence feels like a miracle today. I'll take it. By the way, the most negative thing I've heard about this movie, it's not without its setbacks. That's the most negative thing I've heard so far. Kevin Plower writes, The Northman is 136 minutes of pure, uncut revenge savagery. My favorite Robert Eggers fever dream by far. And the last one I'll read here is this. Rory writes, a bit of a lazy shorthand maybe, but The Northman is basically Robert Eggers' answer to 300. Violent, visceral, weird, and at times staggeringly beautiful. It's a tremendous action movie mixed with some truly haunting moments. And again, a phrase that we heard before, Skarsgård is an absolute beast. I'm so happy. I'm so happy right now. This is because you guys know how much I was looking forward to Morbius. And I didn't hate Morbius, but I didn't get what I was kind of looking to see.
A good movie.
Yeah. Reading all of this is like this, like, Aaron, this to me sounds like the manifestation of everything I thought that movie could be when we saw the previews for it at CinemaCon. So I am flop sweating right now. Like, I am so excited to see this. I think this is going to be the movie of the year. I mean, of course, ask me that after I've seen all the movies. But I'm predicting this is going to be the best movie of the year. It might even replace Everything Everywhere All at Once for me as the best movie of the year so far. I cannot wait to see this. Aaron, you were with me when we saw the previews for this. What's your impression been of the film, and what do you think about the reviews that we're hearing coming out of it right now?
Well, I have been to Norway, and it is one of the most stunningly beautiful places that I have ever traveled on the planet. And my dream is to actually retire in Norway and live out the rest of my days in that magical landscape surrounded by Vikings, because I too enjoy Vikings. And I mean, Viking movies.
You're married to a Viking.
Yeah, I know, right?
I will say that I'm very much looking forward to this. I'm so glad that it's getting the positive reviews that the film really does deliver. And I was reading a little bit about Anya Taylor-Joy, her experience, and apparently she was shivering. She was dressed in barely more than rags. You know, I mean, Eggers he is not one to put actors in a cushy little sound stage and make sure that they're getting hot chocolate and foot rubs in between, you know, pretending to be cold and, you know, blowing in the little cool air to make them shiver. No, they were outside in the elements, drenched, wearing rags, shackled, you know, riding horses or buffalo or whatever they were riding. And apparently even the stunt people were like, oh my gosh, let's get out of the water, which, by the way, stunties, you guys and ladies are the strongest people that I know. So I say this with all due respect, but when even the stunt people are like, I'm out, and you know, when the actor goes, no, let's stay in there, you know that's some, you know, crazy stuff. But I love the fact that they really went for the authenticity of the struggle and the misery that they are living in these horrible conditions. And Anya Taylor-Joy said to apparently Vogue magazine, the woman interviewing her said, I actually was cold watching you. And she said, good, because I was freezing doing it, and if that didn't translate to screen, I would be really pissed off. So I love the fact that he created this authentic environment to really help the actors submerge themselves literally in this in this world, and I'm very excited to see it.
Chris, you've heard me be giddy about this movie for a while now. You've seen the promo spots for it, but now we're hearing the reactions coming out of it. What do you think about the reactions? What stands out to you most about them, and where's your expectation level right now?
I mean, the thing that stands out the most right now is Alexander Skarsgård's abs. What the heck is going on there? There's like 20 of them. How do you do that? That's engineered. This all sounds fantastic and amazing. I am not usually somebody who's very into the Viking genre. The show Vikings, how you are to spiders, I am to like eye violence, and there's a lot of eye violence on that show. And so I had to kind of watch it, not watching. And then I finally just was like, this isn't for me. This is not my show. Do you mean like brooding, like I'm going to kill you?
No,
like touching of eyeballs. I can't. I can't watch people like put into contact. It makes me want to throw up.
Oh, wow.
It grosses me out. My eyes are huge. This is how you kill me. All right. This is a very, very big canvas to murder me with. So I'm going to probably need somebody to see this first. I'm going to be such a wimp.
I will see it, and then you can, and I'll just I'll tap your hand whenever you need to put on your goggles.
I appreciate that. But that all said, this does look epic. It has a very, if 300 was an Oscar contender vibe. Like, it just feels so cool, and it just seems like it's going to be this really, really intense story with so much character in addition to all of the violence you expect from a Viking tale. So I'm really, really pumped to eventually see it, just maybe through my fingies.
Rob, I mean, again, you've heard me going on about this movie a lot. I know you are an appreciator of Eggers' first two big feature cinematic efforts with The Witch and The Lighthouse, a movie I still, to this day, go, what the hell did I just watch with The Lighthouse? But I love The Witch. What's standing out to you about what we're hearing coming out of these reactions to it, and where's your expectation level right now?
I think there are very few people that are working in cinema today that are true auteurs, that really understand what cinema can be. There's a lot of directors that can tell a story, but there are very few directors that truly are advancing the cinematic language. And when I saw The Witch, I was like, this guy knows what's up. I mean, the sense of dread, the sense of atmosphere, the verisimilitude, as I love to say, of the period, the evocation of what it was like to live in that time, and just the overall sense of dread that you felt throughout that entire film.
Dude, I'll tell you what. There's a moment in that movie with it's a camera is fixed. Is it Anya Taylor-Joy?
Yeah.
There's a camera just on her phone, and you hear a voice off camera just saying, "What dost thou want?"
Dude,
that is one of the freakiest moments I have ever seen in a movie.
I mean,
like, that was crazy. What he was able to do, the crazy.
Live deliciously. I mean, when I saw that movie, I'm like, there are very few directors these days that I think it's worth seeing everything that they've done. I think David Fincher is one of them.
Yeah.
Because people just don't know the language of cinema anymore. We have very few auteurs left. We have the old guard, like Scorsese certainly does. He is a true auteur. And he really, when I saw the first trailer for The Northman, you could just tell that, okay, here's someone who really understands true movie making. And it kills me to hear, I didn't realize that someone was going to take the movie away from him and not give him final cut. I'm like, you're morons, because you don't understand. I understand that producers and the financiers have to protect their investment, but he's the real deal, and there's not many of them working today. It does not surprise me that this movie might supplant The Rad and The Rad 2, The Raid and The Raid 2 Barandal. If you, I'm so excited for this, and hearing these kudos, dude, this goes straight to the top. Number one with the bullet of movies I cannot wait to see. Sure, I'll love Doctor Strange and the Marvel movies and the sci-fi and the franchise stuff that we love, but there's so few real. I mean, Coda is a beautiful movie. I love Coda. It was great. But does it advance what cinema can be? No, because it's a story-based film. But Eggers, man, he doesn't need anyone to talk. And he will draw you in, and he will fry your brain. And this movie looks like exactly, I mean, this is what the studio should be making.
Well,
Thank
guys,
God they gave him $90 million.
Yeah, they gave him a pretty
And
good
also,
budget.
with him having final cut, wouldn't that be a contractual thing that it's established in the beginning? Like, that's not just something that they go, "Hey, who gets the final
He
cut?" I
might
don't
be
know.
work for hire on this one. I don't know. I think he wrote it too, though, didn't he?
But even
think
still,
you're
like
right.
in his contract, that is one of those things that's negotiated. I mean, I have
Yeah,
to
it is.
negotiate whether or not
It
I get
is.
a wig in my contract. I like getting a wig. My
So
hair's
I
very
mean,
thin.
I mean, I don't know, but listen, all I know is that like 90% of movies, the directors do not get final cut. It's a collaborative movie effort, and sometimes, like a lot of people like to focus on when it doesn't work, but they just never talk about all the times that a great movie comes out and there was a lot of studio interference. So, hey, if the results were what we're hearing, yay. So anyway, guys, the question is for you. What do you think about what we're hearing coming out of The Northman? It sounds amazing right now, at least to me. Do you have any excitement for it? Are you looking forward to it? Maybe blood-soaked isn't your sort of thing. Whatever your guys' thoughts are, jump down to the comment section below and leave those thoughts there. And Chris is absolutely right. Guy's got like 20 abs. You know what brings those on? Properly shaved balls. Hey guys, we want to take a second and thank a sponsor of today's video, the good folks at Manscaped. You know, I was in the shower the other day and I looked down and I thought, my goodness, the boys look fantastic. Dr. Jack Hammer, the amazing Mr. Fantastical, have never looked or felt better, and that is in part due to our friends at Manscaped. Because our friends at Manscaped are the global leaders in below-the-waist hygiene and are turning men's shower dreams into their favorite routine with the all-new Ultra Premium Collection. This all-in-one hygiene skin and hair bundle is designed to upgrade the everyday man's shower routine from head to toe. Your skin, hair, and balls deserve the best, my friends. You start off using the cologne-infused ultra-premium body wash with aloe vera and sea salt to keep your skin feeling clean and moisturized all day. Then boom, it's time to take care of your hair. Simply apply the 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner that cleanses and nourishes your hair all in one step. Then once you dry yourself off and hop out of the shower, it's time to protect yourself from body odor by applying the Manscaped aluminum-free deodorant. And do you have tattoos or any dry skin? A lot of us do. It's time to hit your skin with the hydrating body moisturizer spray. Cap it all off by applying some Manscaped lip balm. And then last but not least, we're moving on to the Lawnmower 4.0 electric trimmer to clean off any unwanted body hair. So guys, get 20% off plus free shipping with the code Campea. That's Campea at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code Campea at manscaped.com. And thank you to the great folks over at Manscaped for sponsoring this episode of the John Campea Show. Disclaimer, shaving your balls does not necessarily give you a six-pack of abs, and we do not, suggest that they do otherwise. Anyway, with that down...
I wish that were a case, though. Wouldn't it be great?
It would make it a lot easier, wouldn't it? Let's move on to main topic number 4, shall we? Chris, what is our 4th main topic today?
Topic 4 comes from Michael D'Souza. Hey, John and crew. I hope you guys are having a great day. Well, it's game day.
Game day!
The tickets for Doctor Strange 2 have been released today around the world, and with it, brand new promotional TV spots with some insane new footage. Wanda and her kids, three-eyed Sinister Strange. This looks insane. What are your thoughts on this new TV spot, and what are your predictions on the ticket pre-sales? Thank you so much, and have a great day.
All right, thanks a lot for sending that in. And yes, the tickets did go on sale this morning, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. We'll talk about that a bit later. What I do want to talk about right now, though, is the new promotional spot that dropped. And it's not a full trailer. It's under a minute long, but it does give us a few glimpses of things we have not yet seen. The line from Mordo here or there, the third-eyed Stephen Strange. But to me, the most compelling thing, the most interesting thing, was the appearance of Wanda's 2 kids. That's the part that is most interesting. And I will say this, for me, it confirms a theory that I've had. Because when we got to the end of WandaVision, a lot of people thought that Wanda's kids were still out there somewhere. You know, at the end of it, when she's using the Darkhold and the post-credit scene at the end, and you hear the "Mom, help!" I was like, guys, you do realize that's just the same audio of when they were yelling for her when they were out in the street, right? Like her kids weren't real. I mean, they kind of became temporarily manifested, but as soon as the thing came down, her kids disappeared because they, like Vision, weren't real. And I said, I bet that once we get into Multiverse of Madness, I've thought that Wanda was going to be an antagonist, and one of the things that was going to be her motivator was she wants to exploit the multiverse to find a universe where her kids exist. And her being a Nexus being, it would make sense that subconsciously she knew in some version of the multiverse she has children, hence she manifested them within WandaVision. And I could be 1,000% wrong about that, but I believe them appearing in this trailer, in this promo I should call it, I think that pretty much verifies what I've been thinking. Now, it could be 1,000 other things. It could be 1,000 other things. They might just be a figment of her memory. You know, when she goes and kneels at them, like maybe that's just a figment of her remembering when she had, for that short little period of window, she had kids. But I think she's hunting for her kids in another dimension so she can take them for her own. But I mean, I'm not 100% sure about that. Again, the other things, the third eye, Doctor Strange, hearing Mordo's line about this path extracts a heavy toll, which is cool. I love Mordo. Give me more Chiwetel Ejiofor. But yeah, I think that's what this kind of sets it up as. Anyway, Rob, you saw the new promo spot. What stood out to you the most about it, and what do you think about the theory I have about the kids?
Oh, I think you're 100% right. And you know, I recently reread Avengers Disassembled, where Wanda turns out to be the big bad.
Right.
It's all about her trying to find her kids. A lot of this is she's creating it all. This is her. She's the villain. I believe all of that. And I believe that we might get the No More Mutants thing in the reverse. I think this movie is going to be a heck of a lot of fun. And I'm so there for it. It looks so bonkers and so cool to me. And and Sam Raimi's directing it, so I'm sure we're going to get some crazy camera work and all that. I mean, I want to see the quick and the dead of superhero movies, if that works for anyone. John, this looks great to me, and I'm an unabashed MCU lover because I love the Marvel comics, and I really like how the MCU has been the cinematic equivalent of what it was like to read Marvel comics. They really understand that, yes, let's go back to our source material. Imagine that. Rather than try and change it into something else. They're embracing all of this, and all of this, it comes out of, there was no Multiverse of Madness comic directly, but they're pulling from all this mythology that was in the comics, which is a great way to go. Although they've made it Doctor Strange-centric instead of Avengers-centric, and I think that's great. I love it. I can't wait.
You know, one of the great things about how they approach it is they go back to the source material, but they never feel beholden to the source material.
No, they just take these are the ideas and they spin it because they can't do direct adaptations because they've built their own version of it. But they're going back because the comics have already given them all the great ideas. It's just how do you have a bounty? It's like you have a beautiful harvest of all the ideas that you need ever for the MCU, and it's like, how are we going to make this work?
It's like going on MasterChef. These are your ingredients.
Yeah, that's a great analogy.
Exactly what it is.
Yeah.
The Marvel MasterChef School of Filmmaking, and they figure out the best way, because in Avengers Disassembled, who shows up to explain what's going on? That Wanda, and it's Doctor Strange. And Doctor Strange is like, there is no chaos magic. And everyone's like, wait, what? And Doctor Strange explains it, and like, she doesn't have kids. She's trying to, and they're like, there's our movie. There's our Doctor Strange movie. There's how we're going to set it up. And it's all right there in the comics. I can't wait for this. I think it's awesome.
I got a prediction. Prediction time. I'm probably dead wrong about this. We'll find out when the movie opens. Here's my prediction. There's a shot in this teaser where you got, I think it's Chthon. You got Strange, Wong, and then fighting alongside them. The camera pans over, fighting alongside them is Wanda. I think this is Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness's Hulk running in Wakanda moment. I don't think that shot's in the movie. I mean, I could be 1,000% wrong about that, right? But if it does come to pass, I just wanted to be on record on the first one.
Or it's another version of Wanda.
Or, I mean, that's the more likely thing, but I'm guessing this is their misdirect in this trailer. Like her fighting alongside them, I'm going to guess this is not a part of the movie.
Did they do that intentionally? Like, we're going to add one little thing, that way people...
Just like they took Spider-Man out of shots of the trailer.
For Civil War.
Someone's getting punched.
Or in No Way Home, so they took that out. Or in Infinity War, there is a moment where Captain America is fighting Thanos in the trailer, and Thanos throws a punch, and Captain America catches the punch, and you see a close-up of the Infinity Gauntlet, and it's missing a whole bunch of the Infinity Gems. Well, in that moment in the movie, they're all there.
Got it.
So, or, Hulk running alongside the Avengers in Wakanda in the trailer. That, obviously, Hulk doesn't appear in it. And also, they'll throw in these little things to kind of throw the audience off a little bit,
I like that.
So, and I think this might be one of those moments. Anyway, Aaron, you had a chance to see the promo. What did you think about it? What stood out to you?
Oh, well, I think it's fantastic. I love the fact that Wanda's kids make an appearance in this because...
But will they speak Spanish? Will it be a telenovela? That's the big thing. That's an inside joke, by the way. Sorry, everybody.
If you're watching it at my house, it could definitely all be in Spanish. So, because clearly I don't know how to work my television's closed captioning. That being said, I really like the appearance of the children because there's only so many times that the desire that someone's true motivation can just be the desire for power or the desire for equilibrium in the world. Those are great things, but let's face it, they get kind of boring. And, it's nice to see someone that has perhaps a deeper motivation, a different driving factor. And ultimately, if Wanda just wanting to live in a world where she gets to be with her kids, I think that's a beautiful thing. And I think that that's a beautiful motivation and something that truly would have a deep level of passion and vulnerability and also ferocity behind it. So I love that. I'm excited to see how that's explored. But also what this trailer gets me so hyped for, which I was already super excited, but like all the zombie Doctor Strange, everything, the makeup for this movie is on such an incredible, exquisite scale. All of the different looks that just Benedict Cumberbatch has. I mean, I would love to just see a lineup of all of the different looks that he had to go through in hair and makeup and the creation of that. Again, I'm kind of a behind the scenes junkie. I love stuff like that, which is one of the reasons I love Rob, because that's what he does. And so this is just one of those things where as I'm watching, I'm just going, but how did they do that? And how did they come up with that? And how does zombie Doctor Strange work into the whole thing? It's all these little pieces that make me so excited to see the puzzle put together.
Chris, you had a chance to see this. I know this is a movie that you and Logan are both very excited for. What did you think about the spot? What stood out to you? What do you think about my two kids theory? I don't know, all that kind of stuff. What's on your mind right now?
I do think that is the catalyst for why Wanda is joining everyone, right? I'm going to get my kids back. That's what she wants from all of this. And it is hard to tell if this is her seeing them in a different dimension or if it's some kind of vision or however you want to talk about it. But I really, really hope that we do get the kids to actually come back because I want Wiccan and Speed.
Well, I mean, they're young Avengers.
Exactly.
They have to come back.
That's what it feels like we're setting up with the other people.
They're gonna have young, I still don't think they're going to do Young Avengers.
I think they will.
Haley Steinfeld was introduced in the pages of Young Avengers.
I know, well, just because a character is there, just because a character's there, doesn't mean they have to do that. Now, I don't deny that they may get a loose crossover or something like that, but I don't think we're going to get a Young Avengers movie.
I don't think
they're going to call it Young Avengers.
Listen, Marvel knows that May 5th is my wedding anniversary, and they were like, we're going to make sure Chris and Logan get all the things they want in this movie that is wildly anticipated by both of them. So I'm getting Young Avengers. And look at Sinister Strange. Like, what?
They're going to make it Young Avengers. I will give you over under 75%. They're going to make a Young Avengers series.
I'll take that bet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, a series.
A series.
Yeah, I would be in on that.
You know what? I would have said there's a 3% chance they would do a Young Avengers. I'll go 15 that they could do a series. I'll go, I know that's still not high, but I'll go significantly higher than when I was at.
Because Haley Steinfeld can anchor that series now. I mean, she's a movie star, and everyone loved her. Whether you liked Hawkeye or not, she was amazing in it. So I think that she would be the catalyst to form the team.
Yeah.
And ultimately, they need to, I mean, at a certain point, some of these actors are just not going to be interested in playing these roles anymore, or they're just, they're going to have an Ezra Miller moment or whatever. No, I'm kidding. But at a certain point, you do need to have a new generation of MCU. And I think that in the introduction of that in bits and pieces, little tastes of it now, so that the Gen Zers who are watching are like, okay, I'm seeing the new guard moving in. I think it's actually really smart. Start with little introductions and then ultimately a series. I see that happening.
I don't think we're going to have an 11-year-old Wiccan in Speed.
No.
They're not going to be 11 forever.
They'll get aged up as they were in the television show, aging rapidly.
But that's because they weren't real in the television show.
But then they will be, John.
It's going to happen, dude. It's going to happen.
Let me have this.
All right, guys, question is for you. What did you think about the new promo spot for Doctor Strange the Multiverse of Madness? Let the speculations begin. What stood out to you the most? Was it the sinister Doctor Strange? Was it the line from Mordo? Was it some of the action? Was it the kids? I mean, what are you guys thinking about
John,
it? Jump down in the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.
You're missing an important point.
What's that?
You need to give me a raise. Because the amount of Hot Toys figures that are going to come out of this movie alone is going to be thousands and thousands of dollars worth of pre-orders.
It'll be a lot of
Gosh, John,
content.
stop being so selfish.
I need a raise.
All right, guys, jump down in the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to main topic number 5 here, shall we? Chris, what is our 5th main topic today?
From Long Island. Well, John and crew, it's 42 minutes after the start of ticket sales, and here I go, reloading after reload. Does it really take that much to upgrade these ticketing websites? And is it just not worth it for them? This takes the fun out of tickets on sale at 9 a.m. Why hype it up for these issues?
All right. As somebody mentioned a little bit earlier, it is game day.
Game day.
Is that real, by the way?
Yes,
That graphic is real?
Yes, that graphic is real. That's behind me there. It is a very, very real screen that a lot of people has seen this morning. Tickets for Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, has gone on sale this morning. And they launched it at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which I actually thought was a pretty smart move.
Yeah.
Because by launching it at that time, number one, people on the East Coast, they're work. People out here, it's 6 a.m. So the idea was to launch without that overwhelming flood of people like we'd had on Ticket Watch for Spider-Man would be there. It would even it out and spread it out a bit. And it wouldn't be this huge, massive wave of people right there at 6 a.m. That was the idea. And I think the idea worked to a degree. But Adam Aaron and AMC apparently did not learn their lesson about, preparing your technology and your
Does he
back-end
ever?
systems.
I mean,
no,
really,
really
does he
doesn't.
ever?
To get that all prepared, because at 6 a.m., or 5:55 for me, I logged on to my AMC site, went in there to buy tickets. It's like, you're in line for 1 minute. I'm like, oh, okay, 1 minute. About 20 seconds later, little ding dong, ding ding. Like, oh, great, I'm in. Went in, picked my showtime, picked the seats. Then I went to put in my my AMC A list. And then I said, go to purchase. Great, this is super smooth this time. All right, purchase. Wait. Sorry, there's a problem. Go back to showtimes. I'm like, oh, all right. So go back to showtimes again. Pick my seats, pick my theater, pick my purchase. Error. Okay, try it again. Blah, blah, blah. Then I get to the point where I had to select my A list. So sorry, can't find your A list information. I'm like, what? What do you mean you can't find my A list? You found it a minute ago. You can't find it now? Fuck it. Fine. Forget my A list. I'll pay for my ticket too. Purchase. Error. And it did that for about 30 minutes until I finally said, screw it. I went to Fandango. Because you can put in your A list information in Fandango, right? So I go over to Fandango. All right. Pick the theater, showtime, all the seats, blah. Great. Okay. Do you like to include your A list thing? Yes, I would. Put in my A list stuff. Sorry, your A list information cannot be loaded.
What?
I'm like, what? And I wasn't alone. I got on Twitter and I had a lot of people tell me they're having the same experience. That AMC's site got so crippled that their A-list stuff wasn't going through. And I am going to give the benefit of the doubt to AMC and Adam Aaron that this was not a bullshit conspiracy of them. Yeah, we got a lot of A-list members. Let's pretend like something went wrong and there's an error and they can't use their A-list to buy it. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that that's not what happened, but I'd be lying to you if I didn't think that somewhere in the back of my head, I have a slight suspicion of that.
Well, isn't he the same man that wants to charge more money
Yes,
for
he's-
opening
yeah.
night?
Yeah.
he's
So
saying
here's-
So obviously he would not want for the A-listers to be able to usurp all
Yeah.
of the tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That he
again,
could otherwise get money for.
Yeah.
that's a criminal offense, so I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. But again, I'd be lying if I didn't have that little
No, if we're
suspicion.
going to rip on him,
So
I think we should.
So I went through the Fandango process and I was able to buy my tickets. However, I had to pay, no big deal, but I had to pay for my ticket and for Ann's ticket. When normally I can just include, we're A-list, boom, boom, boom. So again, AMC site got crippled. And I got to say this, while most people acknowledge, and a ton of people have been having issues with trying to get their tickets on AMC site today and whatever, it hasn't been as bad. Cinemark did not crash today. As far as I know, Regal didn't crash today. As far as I know. Fandango, while it was a little sluggish, it didn't crash. So clearly it's been a little easier than when Spider-Man No Way Home tickets went on sale. But would it have been as bad or worse if they didn't launch ticket sales at 6 a.m., 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time when everybody's at work? I'll tell you what. Ray asked me a while ago, do I think Doctor Strange 2 and the Multiverse of Madness could have the same sales that Spider-Man No Way Home did? and I very confidently said no. If this thing is releasing at 6 a.m. and there are still sites crashing and there are still issues being had, and that's at a 6 a.m. release, I'm not so confident about that anymore. I mean, what was Spider-Man's opening weekend numbers? It was something ludicrously high. It's like one of the biggest opening weekends of all time. Might have been the second biggest opening weekend of all time. I can't remember, but it was in the high 200s.
253 million.
253 million. Okay, I'm
Domestic.
not sitting here telling you that Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness is going to make 253 million opening weekend. All right, I'm just saying I'm not completely confident that it won't anymore, because that's kind of nutty, and especially when you consider how bonkers this thing looks. Because I guarantee you, a lot of America is watching those trailers and have no idea what the fuck is going on in these trailers.
Right.
I
And
have
yet,
gotten so many texts. So many texts of like, what is this though?
what's going on? And like, why does Chiwetel Ejiofor have dreads now? Like, I mean, we'll find out. But again, holy shit, this thing could sell a lot of tickets. And if they put out a trailer showing Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine, how many tickets will it sell?
All
the
of them.
tickets. It'll sell all the tickets. I'm afraid you heard me say a lot of tickets. What I said was all the tickets. I'm not expecting to see that. Anyway, Rob, we're seeing these, that even at this time of day, major theater, the biggest movie theater chain in the world is having their website crippled. Even Fandango's site is acting sluggish. I am now getting reports of other sites having issues as well. I don't know. What do you think about this, and how big of an opening weekend can this movie actually have?
Well, first of all, again, I love the MCU. I love seeing people this excited, sustained excitement for a franchise that is now into its 14th year, and they're still cranking out movies that are wildly entertaining. They're satisfying. They're so much fun. They're multi-generational. They're 4-quadrant. And even I, as a middle-aged man with one foot in the grave, I look at this and I'm stoked. I looked at this, I'm like, my God, this movie looks so much fun to me. It made me go back and pull out old Avengers comics to like get in the mindset, John. And I think it's really satisfying. I think it's really exciting. And again, it's a testament to Feige and Victoria Alonso and Louis D'Esposito and all the people at Marvel who do these things. How much money do I think it's going to make? Well, remember, Spider-Man No Way Home is a Sony movie. So that was a huge film, but they had to share the pie. This is going to be Marvel only. I wouldn't be surprised. Now, my caveat is it has to be great. It has to be that satisfying.
Well, it doesn't for opening weekend.
No,
people
not
don't
for
know
opening.
yet.
Well, yeah, but I think you're asking me just opening weekend.
Yeah.
I think it absolutely could do 250 million.
Wow.
Absolutely. I don't think it necessarily will, because Doctor Strange is still not Spider-Man, but I think it could easily do 200 million.
Oof.
And like you said, if it has those cameos, and I think that they know enough that you can't just put somebody, they can't just be a walkthrough. The character has to interact and talk. They have to do something kick-ass. If you saw Hugh Jackman show up as Wolverine, and I'm not saying he's going to, but if we don't hear snicked, and if he doesn't take some MFer out with his claws, then, why are you in the movie, dude?
Anyway, Aaron, I mean, websites are crashing. This doesn't happen often. I mean, obviously it's happened with a couple of Star Wars movies, happened with Infinity War and Endgame, happened with Spider-Man No Way Home. These are the biggest movies of all time. It's happening again at 6 a.m. in the morning. I know, Aaron, you're hearing this. What is your reaction to it, and how big of an opening do you think this movie can have?
Well, you say websites, plural, are crashing, but isn't it just one website?
No, we're also hearing. So, like I said, Fandango was acting pretty sluggish. Fandango was acting kind of sluggish.
Oh, okay.
But now I'm hearing from people that Atom Tickets is not working.
Oh, wow.
Atom Tickets isn't working. AMC, was the biggest one in the world. A couple were working fine because they are smaller chains. I think they weren't getting as hit as heavy. But again, the big modifier on all this was, unlike Spider-Man No Way Home, which the tickets went on sale in an evening and stuff like this. This went on sale when people are at work or in bed. And it's still crashing some websites. How big do you think this can be?
Well, first of all, I would have done it instead of 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. I would have done it at 3 and 6 a.m. because
Yeah.
that would be, I mean, if you really want to prevent it, I mean, if you release the tickets at midnight or 1 a.m., obviously everyone's going to stay up for that, and you would still have a massive influx of ticket purchases on the West Coast, even if people on the East Coast were asleep. But 3 a.m. and 6 a.m., only the hardcore on the West Coast are going to stay up until 3 a.m. unless you automatically have graveyard shifts. And if you're on the East Coast, only the hardcore are going to wake up an hour or two before they have to get up for work in order to be able to get these tickets. So I think, first of all, if I were getting paid the big bucks to make decisions, I would have done a different time slot to begin with. But that being said, the fact that websites are crashing, and the only other times that we've seen this historically for ticket sales are when movies absolutely end up shattering box office records, or at least doing substantial box office sales in domestic on the first weekend. We're definitely going to see this being one of those movies that we not only really break some especially recent box office records. Because let's also remember, the past couple of years, people have not been going to the movies. And I think that Doctor Strange is coming out at a perfect time where people are finally, and I say people en masse, are finally feeling safe going back to the movies. Because even a couple of months ago, people were still like, yeah, Omicron, I'm not going to the movies yet. But I think right now, before this, I don't know, B-52s or whatever the next variant or whatever is supposed to come get us, I feel like we're in a nice little non-COVID slump right now, slump or hump, however you want to put it. And I feel like this is going to be a huge opening.
All right, Chris. I mean, we've heard this song and dance before. Here we are. What do you make of this situation right now? And how big of an opening do you think Doctor Strange can have?
Oh, man. Well, right now, I'm mostly just thinking of my friends who work on the tech side of ticket sales. Oh, Tiffany and Travis, I hope you're having an okay day at the office. Man, oh, man. So I think this actually
By the way, I love this image.
Oh, it's so good. It's great.
Yeah.
He's going straight for Adam Aaron's office.
That's great.
It's wonderful.
We need to talk.
I think this does have a lot of potential to really, really sweep the box office because so many things are happening with this movie. Say what you will about how The Flash is going to be a turning point for the DCEU. That movie's not even real.
For the wrong reasons.
Exactly. This movie has so many consequences. So many things can come from this. So even if you aren't a diehard Marvel fan, if you want to be part of the zeitgeist, you are going to see this film so you know where the MCU is going next. And that's the thing. These movies aren't for just comic book geeks like us anymore, right? They are for everyone. They have become this global phenomenon where people now, my friends are messaging me and being like, hey, I need to know which comics I should go pick up to know about this. That never happened. When the first Iron Man came out, people were like, why the hell would I see Iron Man? And I was like, why wouldn't you? Now people want to know about these things. They want to be part of the zeitgeist. They want to have those water cooler talks. So I really, really think this movie's got a lot of legs, so long as everything is executed very, very well. And I do not doubt Sam Raimi.
I mean, that's one of the exciting things. And again, there's been some debate going on about 2 hours is too short. No. This is probably the perfect length for this movie. It's probably the perfect length because if Sam Raimi needed it to be longer, he would have made it longer. This tells me, I said this before, but if Sam Raimi's making this 2 hours and 6 minutes, then I bet if it was 2 hours and 20 minutes, it would have felt drawn out or would have felt like it was sluggish in some places. I think this is going to be great.
And that's one of the problems when you have these movies coming out that are 3 hours long is all of a sudden there's this new expectation that they should all be 3 hours long, and they shouldn't. I totally agree. If it needs to be, if the story can't be told in 2 hours, then no, I'm very happy with the time. So because I can go to the bathroom.
Right now, Ray's on the other side of that door reciting the song. I need a short ass movie, a real short movie. And that's what Ray's probably. What were you about to say, Rob?
No. I think that nothing other than the fact that I'm very excited about this. And for a 2 hour film, it's so funny when people talk about length and ratings. Length and ratings really have no bearing on whether a movie's good or not.
It's all how you use it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
it's not the size of the boat.
I just want to point out that I didn't say that.
That's true.
I don't want anyone
Just the two dirty little girls over here making dick jokes.
Yep.
I didn't think that's what we were talking about until now.
We're talking about size not mattering.
Oh, okay.
That's a Yoda thing.
Yes, it is.
That's exactly what I was talking
We're
about.
talking
Exactly.
about Yoda.
Talking about Yoda.
Talking about Yoda.
All right, guys. Question is for you. Have you had any issues? I'm seeing a lot of people in the live chat saying, hey, I went to Cinemark, got my tickets. Then other people saying, actually, Cinemark is now crashed. Adam's tickets is crashed, saying, I got my tickets, no problem. So, yeah, it's not as bad as Spider-Man No Way Home, but I think that had a lot to do with the time of day that the tickets went on sale. Anyway, guys, did you have any issues? Did you get your tickets so far? Do you even care if you get your tickets at this point? Whatever you guys are thinking, jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. And hey, why not just mail your tickets to you using stamps.com? Guys, we want to take a second and thank one of the sponsors of this video, stamps.com. You know, they call what I and what a lot of you guys do small business, but to us, it doesn't seem small. It's the world to us. And you can't afford to miss out on opportunities to grow and keep your customers wanting more. Because time is money. Don't waste either with repeated trips to the post office. With stamps.com, you can skip the trip and focus on how to take your business to the next level. Stamps.com lets you print official postage right from your computer and saves you money in the process. So you can spend less time at the post office and more time making your customers happy. Stamps.com gives you access to all of the post office and UPS shipping services that you need right from your computer. And get discounts you can't find anywhere else, like up to 40% off USPS rates and 76% off UPS. So stop overpaying for shipping with Stamps.com. Sign up with the promo code CAMPEA for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, free postage, and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com and click on the microphone at the top of the page and enter the code CAMPEA. And a big thank you to the folks over at Stamps.com for making this episode of the John Campea Show possible. Okay, guys. With all that down, let's now go over and get your live comments and questions that you guys have been firing in. So, Chris, what do we got going on over there?
We're starting with Manpreet giving us some support there, so thank you so much.
Thank you, Manpreet.
Andy, if Transformers want a backup plan so their beneficiaries can cash in should they die, do they get car insurance or life insurance? What kind of Autobot you are.
That is a deep, deep question. I'd say you go with car insurance.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the way you go. Deep question, Andy, to start off today. All right, what's
Bundle
next?
it.
Seconds from disaster. That's the right answer. Seconds from disaster. I sent it to Ray this morning, but did you see the new DS2 TV spot, Doctor Strange 2 TV spot? Sinister Strange opening his third eye. How weird do you expect this movie to be?
I expect it to be very weird, but I do not expect it to be as weird as Everything Everywhere All at Once. Again, guys, get out and see that movie the moment that you can. Right now, it is my favorite movie of the year, and it is completely bonkers. If this movie can out bonkers that, that'll be something. All right, what's next?
All right, from Daniel Dang. Just finished my rewatch of HBO's Rome, and I'm getting withdrawals. I'm about to start Spartacus for the first time to fill the void.
Ooh, nice one. I mean, very different show. Spartacus
Very different.
is very different than Rome. Of course, we have one of the stars of Spartacus in here. But listen, after, I've said this before, after 2.5 of the worst episodes I've ever seen in television history, Spartacus goes on to become one of my top 3 favorite shows of all time. I'm not lying. I mean, the only reason I hung in with Spartacus after like this episode 2 was like, well, Aaron's in it, so I got to keep watching because Aaron's in it. So I'm going to keep watching.
I feel like Spartacus really picks up steam after episode 4. And you know what?
I feel like it does after episode 2.
So there's a reason for that. I will be brief because we're in the live questions right now. When a show films a pilot and then waits to be picked up, a lot of the issues that they saw in the pilot, they can reshoot those, they can rethink them, and they move into the series and it's full steam ahead. We went into episode 1 of Spartacus and, our writers were all on the other side of the world in Los Angeles. We were filming down in New Zealand. There was some communication issues going on. And we kind of just went full steam ahead into the season, having a full season pickup. And so I really feel like Spartacus is an example of one of those shows that you kind of got to give it a couple of episodes because nobody really knew well, Steven DeKnight knew what he was doing, but unfortunately he was in Los Angeles. So
Where in New Zealand were you?
We were in Auckland.
All right, what's next?
From Andy. Betty to Archie in season 1. I have this fantasy of us as a power couple. Betty and Archie in season 6. A couple with literal fucking powers.
I mean, I I am almost tempted to go and watch some episodes of Riverdale.
John, don't. You don't drink. You can't get through it.
Is that what it requires?
You can't do it.
Maybe an edible or something?
I was going to
Try
say,
to get into
on,
it?
on
All
my
right.
days where I pop one of those, I'm like, I can deal with this, and I can't.
All right, what's next?
Elizabeth Hirado. You'd think Adam Aaron learned his lesson?
Listen, you never hear me say these words. In Adam Aaron's defense, these are issues that go back to pre-Adam Aaron reign. Like, I mean, they were having these issues like with the Star Wars movies and stuff like that. Now, granted, when the Star Wars things happened, they had never seen anything like that before. But still, it's like, you'd think they would have gotten their act together by now. You are the biggest movie theater chain in the world. Like, if YouTube has technology that can serve up 7 billion videos a day, I think you can handle some ticket sales. But
It'll be interesting to see what he has to say this year at CinemaCon. Can you handle that, John? Are we going to need to duct tape you to your seat this year?
He's probably going to take credit for, I mean, who just won the national title? Kansas? Mm-hmm. He's probably going to come out and take credit for Kansas winning.
You got to be like Steve Carell in The Big Short when he's speaking his keynote or whatever. You got to put your hand up, like insistent, and then get up in front of the crowd and say something disparaging.
It's just, okay, I wasn't going to do it again, but this fucking guy.
Here we go.
At the last, you had to get me started. You got to understand. Like last year, AMC is in existence today because they got lucky that some people on Reddit decided to create meme stocks that took AMC stock from like $2 or whatever it was at the time to like $85, right? Total fluke. Had nothing to do with them. And then Adam Aaron gets on stage at CinemaCon 8 months ago because, they said we may not make it, but I'm proud to tell you I steered the ship, and here we are with more money in the bank, and we're healthy. And I wanted to stand up. I swear I came this close to getting thrown out of CinemaCon. I wanted to stand up and just say, shut your filthy whore mouth. Because you did nothing to save this company. All you did was laid off thousands of employees while giving yourself a $9 million bonus for kicking people out of their jobs. And you were steering this ship way down into the Kraken sinkhole. And then a meme stock saved your ass. And you're standing up there acting like, I led us through the desert. Shut the F up. Oh my God. I can't stand this guy. I cannot stand this guy. That's why I said I'm expecting him to get up at CinemaCon and take credit for Kansas State's national title win. Like he's just going to try to take, or the fact that the rain's down in Africa. He's going to take credit for that too.
He's Toto?
He is. He's totally Toto in this.
I'm bringing Joey Bishop up in case anybody needs an emotional
Gonna
support.
say, you need to pat. Do you need?
Look how zen Joey is.
Do you need some emotional support? Do you need Joey to sit on your lap?
Everybody needs a little bit of Joey Bishop in their lives. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm going to stop going on. All right, what's next?
From Sam Fisher. After episode 2, I believe more and more there's a third personality. I doubt Mark asked out the girl, and we know Steven didn't. So who did?
Well, okay, yeah, but this is not a spoiler discussion video, so I don't want to go into too much there. But I'll just say, come back at 4 o'clock, Sam, because I don't necessarily think you're wrong, but we'll discuss more of that later. All right, what's next?
Al Renshaw. I sometimes go down a rabbit hole of watching YouTube videos of the best moments of Collider and AMC movie talk. Not one of two. Only were Ashley and Natasha funny, but Ellis, Schnepp, and Knapsack are hilarious. Hashtag bear heroin, hashtag but John, hashtag shit rats.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I will never, ever, ever do anything but look back fondly at my time at AMC and Collider. And while, I'm not a big fan of the circumstances that prompted me to quit both of those, overall, my time at those and what we were able to build there and stuff like that. And those are just some of the highlights and some terrifically, like I have saying this before yesterday, I have been so lucky to work with some tremendously talented people through those two eras.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
Especially
That's really nice of you to say about me.
But through both of those eras, the AMC era, the Collider era, yes, I also worked with some unbelievable dead weight while I was at those places. But for the most part, I got to work with some tremendously gifted, funny, talented people. Ellis is still killing it right now. He's doing podcasts and stuff like that for Rotten Tomatoes.
And stand-up comedy.
And obviously he's a great stand-up comedian. Ken Knapsack I was just emailing with Ken the other day. Ken Knapsack was simply one of the funniest people I've ever, like, he's got a sharp intellectual wit.
Yes.
Knapsack does. He's got this sharp intellectual wit.
He's a really nice guy too.
He's a super nice guy, and I could just sit and listen to him talk about almost any topic for a while. But again, all the people that you mentioned in there, yeah, they were some really good times. But I'll go out and say, I'm going to make the John Campea Show bigger than either of those were. I really like. I just and in fact, I really feel like that's where we're at right now. And yeah, there were definitely some awesome times there. And I also go back once in a while and watch some clips from those because they were good times. All right, what's next?
From Tyler Piper. Well, after 2 years, I finally got COVID. Oh,
Sorry to hear that, man.
but I'm feeling all right. Did you ever see Black Sails on Stars? Super underrated show. Ray Stevenson as Blackbeard was awesome.
I never did, but you know what's funny? Because we go to
Great.
Comic-Con every year, and they'd always have some kind of Black Sails display. But not only did I never watch it, I don't think I know anybody that watched it.
I watched it because my parents were watching it.
I thought you were going to say because your parents were in it. I was going to say, what?
My parents are in it. Jeff and Marie do a great job. No, they watched it, which walking into that was what are you guys into?
What?
Why are we watching?
Watching this.
Why are we watching this together as a family?
I do want to point out, John, you did have the foresight to put one of the producer and writers of Black Sails in your documentary, Movie Trailers Love Story, and that would be Ashley
I was going
Edward
to say,
Miller.
was Ashley a
Yes.
producer on that?
Yes. And as he was the showrunner on Dota Dragon's Blood, the animated
Right.
show that I was editing for him, but he was also a writer producer on Black Sails.
He was the writer of X-Men First Class.
First Class and Thor.
Yep.
Rob,
So-
did you see Black Sails?
Yeah, I like Black Sails.
Yeah?
It's really good.
I see. What did
It
you
only
say?
ran 2 seasons.
It's really
though.
hard for me to
Very
watch
short.
pirate things because I anything like that, I just go, oh God, it must stink. Just like all I can think about is the
How
stink.
much
Yeah, well,
Just like-
but that's most of human history.
No, I
Yeah,
know,
that's
but
true,
it's like
yeah.
that's like real, like
the
there's
Greeks
just like
and the Romans.
no fresh water source at all. Like even in the desert, you can unearth a cactus or something, and
I'm gonna have to watch it at some point.
you know
though. I
get
really am.
manscaped.
By
but
the way, you need to watch Our Flag
Our
Means
flag
Death.
means death is wonderful.
I didn't like it.
I started watching
Yeah.
it.
Oh.
I actually, I
I
know.
only saw one episode.
I know, yeah, I'm the same way. I watched the first episode because I know a writer on the show, and I was like, I want to watch this.
I
got
it time.
And I
Yeah.
love Taika. I
Yeah.
love Taika, but I watched
How
first
many
episode, I'm
episodes do I need? Because I will
Mm.
suffer through a couple episodes if it gets good.
For me, it really does change once we fully see Blackbeard.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I hang in there because it's all the things that you love about Taika projects.
Okay.
It is that idea of you are not beholden to your like birth family or anything like that, but your chosen family. It's so good. It's
All
so
right,
good.
I'll give it another crack. All right,
love
what's
it.
next?
From Jeremiah Miller. Hello, the Filthy Club. There's our new name. I think this is the only logical option for a new channel name. The MCU TV series are really getting creative with their cinematography and camera work. I'm loving it.
I mean, yes, like again, and I was mentioning this the other day that they somehow, some way, find a way to make every one of them feel different and have their own very, very unique DNA. And Moon Knight is definitely one of those. I don't think the Filthy Club, again, if I do change the name, it's got to be something that isn't directly associated with me or my name. So I don't want
The Rob Burnett Show?
Campea, anything in it. Definitely not Burnett or anything in it.
Can I please tell the joke that you made last week when I suggested that it be the Aaron Cummings experience?
Okay.
So you guys think that like you got like this is how much love we have is so I said last week before the show, why don't we just call it the Aaron Cummings experience? And John said, no, it's already written on too many bathroom walls.
Yeah.
Or something like
No,
that.
you said, I think specifically what you said was, call it the Aaron Cummings experience. Everybody will love the Aaron Cummings experience. And I said, yeah, I read that on some bathroom walls.
That's what it was. That's what it was. But that's the thing. When you love someone, you can laugh about a joke like that. I thought it was brilliant.
But I
well
wanted
timed.
to be made very clear. I didn't say that on air.
Not on air.
And
not
I
on
wanna
air.
say
And I
that
said,
I didn't
please
even
can
laugh
we
at
say
that.
that on
You
there?
didn't even laugh at that.
I mean, I
laughed
did.
it
I just don't
off.
want. I don't want to. You know, I want to. I'm already in enough hot water with the things I say on the show.
Not with me.
All right.
Okay.
What's next?
From Big D Studio Entertainment.
Big D.
Probably my fave moment in episode 2 of Moon Knight was when he.
Okay, we're gonna have to
Yep.
move on. So let's remember, guys, when we're talking about episodes that just play. And hey, thanks for writing in, Big D. Seriously, but when we're writing in about an episode that just happened the night before, like TV is different from the movies. Like I don't like it's different. Like if the football game happens yesterday, you can't ask people not to talk about the score. If you don't want to know the score, it's on you to avoid thing. But I do try to give a few hours. So, and since we are going to do a spoiler discussion a little bit later today, we're going to take a pause on that. Like personally for me, talk spoilers immediately about TV because I believe that is your responsibility. Like I found out Opie died on Sons of Anarchy because I didn't watch the show.
Really thought you were going to go with Obi-Wan.
No,
I was gonna
no.
be like, you just found out?
I just found out Obi-Wan dies in the Obi-Wan series. Very surprising.
cool.
But no, I just
Terrifying.
found, when I found out that Obi dies in Sons of Anarchy, I read it on Twitter, but I had nobody to be angry about that except myself because if it's television, it's on you to avoid social media. It's not on other people to not talk about it. But we do try to give a little bit of a buffer there.
I will say when people post spoilers, though, at like 12:58, right? When the episode drops out, it's when I'm like, there's a special place in hell for you. You're a little much.
All right, what's next?
All right. From Daniel Dang, the scene in Dune where Paul trips on spice and experiences intense premonitions in the tent was brilliantly performed by Timothée Chalamet.
Dude, everything from the aesthetic of it, the design of it, the way the shots were done, the I want to call it a filter, but it's not a filter, but the LUT, if you will, that was like everything about that down to Timothée Chalamet's performance was unbelievable. By the way, side note, we went down a rabbit hole last night of watching SNL skits on TV. We were waiting for Moon Knight to come on, and Ann put on this one with what's the name of the dude dating Kim Kardashian now?
Pete
Davidson.
Of Pete Davidson. They were having like This Week in Rap show, right?
Oh, the Skeet
and
one?
Questlove, yes. And Questlove was there, and somebody was playing Queen Latifah, and they're talking about rap. And then they had these two skinny white kids that are also involved in rap, and it was Pete Davidson and Timothée Chalamet, like just dressed like skids. Anyway, and then like they go, what is rap culture? And Questlove, rap culture is about embracing the understanding, the history of what comes before, and where we see people going and our society and culture going. Then Queen Latifah gives this deep answer, and then they go over to Pete Davidson. So what is hip hop all about? He's like, it's about the yeet yeet, and it's like, and then Timothée Chalamet and him just go on, and I'm like, this is so stupid, but I am dying laughing at
That's
it. It was
hilarious.
Timothée Chalamet's great. All right, what's next?
From Luke1234, how's the Mac Studio M1 Ultra?
I wouldn't know because I didn't get to use it. I bought a $6,000 computer that I don't get to touch. Fact checker Jonathan, who's back on full time with our staff, came over yesterday, said, "Hey, John," yoink, and just took it and went home. So I'm going to have to ask Jonathan how it is because he's the one who's going to be
You didn't
using
even
that
get to see what
computer.
it looked like.
No, I didn't even get to
touch
open
it?
the box. Didn't even get to open the box.
He didn't do like an unpacking video for you?
No, which I totally should have done, but I
Yeah.
didn't. I just, fact checker Jonathan came over, yoink, and took it, or yeet, came, grabbed it, and away he went, and took the damn computer.
Well.
So I haven't even had a chance to get my hands on. Hell, I bought Rob a MacBook Pro with the M1 Pro in it, and I never got to touch that either.
I watched Moon Knight episode 2 on
On it?
that computer.
There
and
you go.
It looks great. That screen is beautiful.
All right, what's next?
Sam Fisher, John, I really think we need a for why emoji. Oh, I love that.
Oh, yeah. for
You
sure.
know what? You're absolutely right.
I would love a for why emoji.
Ray, who's out in my living room right now and is probably monitoring the show. Ray, we need a 4Y emoji because we're now able to put up more customized emojis.
With your face, Chris.
But we
You going?
also need, I think we need a 4Y segment of the show.
I would love a for why.
Oh.
like a
That-
5-minute segment.
Oh, yeah, it's like
Why?
the Amy Poehler and
Really?
Seth. Really?
Really?
Do you know that SNL sketch that they
Yeah,
did?
yeah.
This
love
is
that one.
really with Amy Poehler and Seth Meyers, and they would be like, "Really, Michael Bay? You had to have the two cops say, 'Let's get out of the car like bad boys.' Really, Michael Bay? Really, Michael Bay? With the Keurig overselling? Really, like that kind of stuff."
We need a
Love for
4Y
why.
segment.
4Y.
Yeah.
4Y. I like that idea. All right, what's
You
next?
should shoot an intro.
Elliot Prince. John, did you get your aviation gin yet? Did we? Saw that Reynolds just sent some to his favorite K-pop group for charting the #1 album on Billboard. Just tell him he reached 200 million views, yo.
Was it Blackpink? Because it should be.
Blackpink's great.
I know. La Lisa,
I am
that solo album.
I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. I'm just going to say that no, we have not yet received. I was told by someone, I'm sending y'all a crate of aviation gin. And by the way, I need to tell everybody something here, but you guys at home can't hear it. So I got to mute and I'm going to cover my mouth. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're back. Sorry. Couldn't tell you guys what I was you guys couldn't hear what I was about to say.
Pretty exciting.
But it's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting. But no.
I can't believe they're in Doctor Strange.
No. It's wild.
But no, have not gotten our aviation gin yet. I will let you know once we do get it. Okay, what's next?
I need my fun juice. Come on, guys. All right.
Fun juice.
Oh, no.
Late night alum. After seeing Everything Everywhere all at once a couple weeks ago, I'll never look at employee awards, bagels, and hot dogs the same way ever again.
If you had to see the movie to know how brilliant of a comment that is. You have to see the movie to know how brilliant of a comment that is. But plant that away in the back of your head, what Late Night Alum just said. Plant that away.
Can we read it again?
He just says, I'll never look at employee awards, bagels, and hot dogs the same way ever again.
Okay.
Plant that away and let it come to beautiful fruition when you see the movie. All right, what's next?
Andy, if a married couple is going through a divorce, then they should settle all contracts and sign the papers at an AMC so their heartbreak can feel good.
Okay, that's not bad.
I like that.
That's not bad. All divorce papers must now be signed in AMC theaters. All right, what's next?
Yasmar Hidalgo, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. My name is Steven with a V. Oh, I loved that line.
That was awesome.
Again, but she's okay. Anyway,
No one knows what that means.
Keep going. What's next?
Wiley Todd, Rob Christopher Cross, smacks you, got sailing, ride like the wind and never be the same. All bangers if these songs are in an ambulance. I will see it.
Okay, I will say this. That's a great scene in the movie.
It is. And you know what?
That's a
It
great scene in
works.
the movie.
There is so often in a movie where they'll throw in some classic songs and who doesn't love yacht rock? And by the way, if you have not seen the band Yacht Rock Review, you have to see them in person and wear your hat. Anyway, like it actually, the way that they get into it, it's for a reason. It's not like somebody kicks the radio and the radio accidentally comes on. No, they actually are listening to the song for a reason. They get into it beautifully. The reaction from the ambulance, like from the paramedic in the back, is brilliantly played, and then they get out of it realistically. That's probably the only realistic scene in the entire movie.
All right, what's next?
I never thought I'd hear that said about Christopher Cross.
Yeah.
From Patrick Durling, I feel Better Call Saul doesn't get enough love. Anyone excited for season 6?
Again, I've still not gotten back on board. I watched the first couple of seasons of it. I really loved it, but I just kind of fell off it. I don't know why. I need to get caught up. Are any of you guys completely caught up on Better Call Saul?
No, I'm waiting to get the whole series box set, whatever that is. Just like I got Breaking Bad, I got the 50-gallon Blu-ray drum of the entire series and binged the whole thing in a week.
Oh my God.
But I do have a 1/6 Saul action figure. It's great.
All right, what's
I need
next?
to watch it. My friend Amy's on it. I'm a bad friend. Glenn Mark, I'm bracing for impact. I agree with Rob on Aliens. It is never slammed over one's head that Weaver is an awesome, strong female lead. One never feels indoctrinated, unlike modern Doctor Who. Whitaker, at the slighted opportunity, says, oops, I keep breaking the glass ceiling. Love Doctor Who, but BBC never stopped pressing those shards of glass deeper into one's eyes.
I'm going to disagree with you there because I am telling you right now, that's exactly the type of verbiage people would say about Aliens today if it was released today. Because that scene where Ripley gets the exoskeleton loader suit, and the whole message of it is clear. Well, they don't think she can do it because she's a little lady. And then she steps up there, boom, where do you want it? Bay 12, please. It's a great scene. But if that movie were to come out today, people with certain political agendas would see that scene and they would instantly go, woke! Oh my God, everything's so woke. That's exactly what they would do today about that scene. And it's just, well, that's exactly what people would do with the scene. But anyway, we need to keep moving. All right, what's next?
From Sam Fisher, Taskmaster once said he hates fighting Moon Knight and copying his fighting style because he prefers to take a punch rather than block.
In the comics? Is that true? I'm
assume so.
I'm not big on the history of
Well,
Taskmaster in the comics.
I don't know if anyone. I mean, he can do it, but I don't know if that's. I wouldn't necessarily say that, but he could. I mean, he can.
Let me ask you this, because there's this. I mean, obviously we could tell from episode 1 that this is a supernaturally superpowered individual. The way he grabs the jackal and does all.
And by the way, that's not how Moon Knight began.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was going to ask. Without giving anything away, there's a moment in this episode where, kind of as a side note, it's shown how physically strong Moon Knight is. Was that ever a part of the comics?
Yes.
Okay,
No,
that was.
Yeah,
Okay.
it came in later. I mean, when the comics started, Khonshu was not an entity. Khonshu was just a statue that inspired when Mark Spector was resurrected, when he came back to life because he wasn't dead in the first place. It was in his own mind that Khonshu sort of brought him back from the dead. Later, as the comic moved on, Khonshu became a god, and Moon Knight was imbued with real powers, and there's all kinds of. So this is sort of late stage Moon Knight, but
okay.
I'm there for it.
All right, next up.
Chance sending in a $99.99 super chat.
Oh my
Thank you
God,
so
Chance,
much,
thank you so much for supporting our channel.
Yeah.
Dude, listen, I mean, I talk about this sometimes, but it's true. We are here, and this channel, this community proves that people on the internet don't support the things they watch. Yeah, they do. And our channel and the people who are in our community prove that. And we're only here because you guys have supported us through the years and continue to support us. So, Chance, thanks so much for that. Thank you for supporting the things that you enjoy watching. And we are very, very grateful. Thanks for that, man. As is everybody who's a part of the community as well. Thank you, Chance.
And not just by the super chats, but also by the products that you've been advertising. I mean, I use my Campea code to get Tom a whole big package of Manscaped supplies. And
You know what? I would ask you to comment on what that. No, but I won't.
No.
I did when the camera wasn't rolling, and I'm pretty sure that we would probably lose
That
all
might
of our.
have been the funniest thing that I've ever heard you say.
But that will have to stay in the room.
Even I will censor myself from repeating on air what I.
No, but
said
I
to
think
you
it's a
guys.
good point. I mean, I think that we have a pretty good slate of advertisers.
Of
I mean,
stuff
hell-
that you like. I
Yeah,
love
that I actually
Masterclass.
use.
Legitimately love Masterclass.
Yeah,
and I don't
love
say that because they're a
Masterclass.
sponsor. I say that because I've actually watched a lot of their classes, and they're
Yeah.
for the
Rob
fantastic.
and I are going to debone a chicken together now.
That's why I think Hot Toys should advertise on this show, so I could pontificate about how much I would buy their product.
But no, honestly, like I've used literally everything that we advertise. Like Ann and I love HelloFresh. MeUndies are awesome.
I would love if
I-
Diva Cup would be a sponsor.
I don't know what that is.
I
but-
know you don't,
Okay.
but that's why I said it.
I use Athletic Greens every morning. I love.
Dude, I
Masterclass.
think I'm going to have to use that Campea code to get. Is it? I hate vegetables too.
Yeah, I don't. That's the whole reason why I get it is because I have to force myself to get stuff like that because I do not eat my vegetables. And when I go to a restaurant, like actually when you and I go to lunch now, what do I always order now? I force myself to get a salad, right? Because I force myself to eat salad. But whenever I'm making something for myself, it's like just meat and cheese or pasta or something. I don't eat my veggies, and so I knew I needed to augment my diet. And that's why I found something like Athletic Greens and why it works so well.
I just like the fact when we shill, we go the extra mile because we
we actually use it.
believe we actually use. I mean, I don't like getting accused of shilling for things that I'm not truly shilling for. I don't like that.
All right, what's next?
From Austin Galman Brown, the Netflix Marvel continuity could be like DC's New 52. Everything is new except for the stuff we tell you later isn't. A sort of passive reboot.
Again, right. So here's the thing, though. It goes back to when Star Wars was bought by Disney, and then they said, okay, from now on, everything is canon. And I said, well, that's not going to last, because story-wise, that can't possibly work. And sure enough, within a year, 2, 3, you started to see cracks in it. And then they came out and said, well, because, point out that certain things in novels weren't canon, like contradicted things are in canon. And then they said, well, I mean, it's sort of canon. Like the parts that are consistent, those are canon. And the parts that aren't consistent aren't canon. And that's when I said the phrase that hung over me for a long time. And I said, no, I don't think you understand canon. A woman is not sort of pregnant. She's pregnant or she's not pregnant.
That's not really true. Yeah, because like you can have a chemical pregnancy, you can be pregnant, you can have a miscarriage, you can be pregnant, have a
No, you
stillbirth.
can be pregnant and have a miscarriage, but at that point you're no longer pregnant.
Right, but sometimes it's not a viable pregnancy. I've always had a problem with that particular.
Why are we having this discussion?
I'm sorry.
You know my point.
Sorry.
You're either pregnant or you're not. And something is either canon or it's not. And the moment it's not, then it's not canon. Like you can say, well, I got 100% on the test, even though I got 2 wrong. No. If you either got 100% or you didn't. Something is either canon or it's not. And the moment that Marvel introduces things in these legacy Netflix characters that are not consistent with what happened in the Netflix shows, then that's not canon. Now it's something new, extremely similar, but not canon. But anyway, that's just kind of my take on it. But we'll see how that all goes. Rob, you were missing the day, I think. That I'd actually like to know what your thought on this is.
On canon?
Well, when the official Marvel.com website added a paragraph to, why am I freezing on the name of Matt Murdock? On Matt Murdock's bio, that said, and it basically explains everything that happened in the Daredevil Netflix series. And then it added a new paragraph. We talked about this on the show the other day. It said, sometime later, Matt was hired by Peter Parker and blah, 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 to defend him for his public blah, 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 right? Which pretty much well, that settles it then. They're saying that's canon. Except then what happened with that one Star Wars biography that seemed to contradict canon, they went in and took it out. Like it disappeared like an hour or 2 later, so they took it away. So we don't know if...
Did they take the Matt Murdock bit out too?
No, the whole thing was the Matt Murdock article. The whole thing was Matt Murdock page.
Right, so
but they took out the paragraph, the final paragraph that they had just added that started with, sometime later he was hired by
that's gone then.
Yeah, it was only up for like an hour or 2 and they pulled it down. So we've seen that happen in Star Wars articles before by things that weren't actually canon. So I don't think that definitively says that it's not canon, but I don't think them putting it up in the first place definitively means it was canon. I don't know. Did you see that? What do you think about it?
But I understand.
Yeah.
Look, to me, I mean, dude, I don't want to bring it up, but I'm a Star Trek fan, and Spock
I did not know this. Wow.
Spock never had
you know a guy.
He never had a sister. He never had a sister. A stepsister, call her what you want. Now he does. For 50 years, Spock did not have a sister. Now he does. Is it canon? The owners of the franchise will tell you, yes, it is. I'm like, he's had a sister according to you for 4 years, but I've been watching Star Trek for 50. So now you're going to tell me canon's different?
Can't you say that the Star Trek series never mentioned Spock's grandparents? That doesn't mean he didn't have grandparents. The original Star Trek series never mentioned that Spock had cousins. That doesn't mean he didn't have cousins.
Well,
it also never showed him going to the bathroom.
Yeah, we also never saw. What does the Vulcan
canon,
shit
Spock
look
doesn't have
like,
a
by the
butthole.
way?
I mean, look, all I'm saying is that, we had a character that we watched the span of his life, learned a lot about him, never heard one mention of this character that apparently was pivotal in his life. Within the span of the Star Trek series, within canon, we saw Spock as a young boy all the way to his death. And we never once heard that character mentioned until recently. Until after Spock canonically died. And
Again, I think there's a lot of things about Spock's life we never heard of before that we just assume could have been there.
I'm just saying,
but
then when somebody goes and retcons that.
But it's not a retcon unless, and you can tell me if I'm wrong here. Did Star Trek ever say that Spock had no siblings? Because if they did, and that's not a rhetorical question. Because if they did say that, then that's definitely a retcon. You're right.
No, they never did, but they did say he did have a brother. a half brother, and they mentioned that. And when they mentioned his half brother,
Did they ever in the series, or only not until the movies came out?
Not until the movies.
Well, see, but then couldn't you have said the same thing when the movie came out? It's like, hey, wait a minute. All
Yes.
these years we watched Star Trek, there was never a mention of the Spock having a brother.
Here's what I also object to. I think that when a character is like, it'd be like another creator coming in and changing the literary history of, say, James Bond. If Ian Fleming didn't write about Bond's history, if another writer like Raymond Benson or someone else comes in and writes a Bond story and retcons Bond's history, I don't think that's correct. I don't think that's proper. I will never accept another creator defining the history of a character that they did not create.
I don't necessarily disagree with you. I'm just saying, though, that unless you, and it could be there, because again, it's not a rhetorical question. Them adding Spock having a sister is not a retcon. It doesn't contradict anything we knew about the character previously. Just like they never mentioned his grandparents, but we can assume he had them.
Right, but I mean, after like, this is, I think what you're talking about is you're essentially correct. But if you're following a character within the boundaries of pop culture, if someone came and told you that Luke Skywalker had a second sibling, how'd you feel about that?
Well, then I can point to stuff in the original in the original source material that contradicts that. That would be a retcon.
Well, yeah, but
here that's
I
not.
think that's the thing, but also by not saying something as well, like now, according to modern Star Trek, Spock had a learning disability, and I'm like, no, he didn't. Like that wasn't his problem. That's
I guess my point is, unless it's something's not a retcon, unless there's something definitively there that it is retconning.
But see, I don't necessarily agree with that, because I think what writers are doing, they're retconning a character, and that would fundamentally, if Spock had a learning disability, that fundamentally would change his entire, the way he had been portrayed from the beginning was not that he ever had a learning disability.
Well, it depends on what they said the learning disability is and how it does or does not affect him.
Well, yeah, but I can't accept that.
All right. Okay, fair enough. All right, let's keep going, honey. We got to keep going. What's next?
Next, we have Chi-Town Rules 09. Got my Multiverse of Madness tickets 20 minutes before the advertised time. Consider myself lucky to not have to fight them like No Way Home.
Yeah, actually, that is one of the good things. I heard that the tickets did go on sale earlier than advertised.
Oh.
Which is good, because that would alleviate some of the overall pressure as well. So that was probably a good move on their part. And well done, Chi-Town, that you were able to get your tickets with no problem, because a lot of people are having some problems. All right. Let's take a second right now and hear from one more sponsor of our show today, the great folks over at Vuori. Guys, we want to take a minute and thank a sponsor of today's video, Vuori. Now, you know, Ann and I like to work out and train several days a week, but the thing is, I want to be comfortable and not look like a slob at the same time, and I often have a hard time finding something that does both. But Vuori, everything is designed to work out in, but it doesn't look or feel like it's made to be worked out in. It is so comfortable, you will want to wear this stuff all the time. Now, you guys know I like some flexibility and versatility in the clothes that I wear, but that's where Vuori comes in. See, it can be used for just about any activity like running, training, swimming, yoga, but it's also great just for lounging around or going out on the weekends in. For example, take the men's core shorts. These are the most comfortable and one of the best looking pairs of shorts that you can own, and they're versatile. One pair of shorts for just about every sport that you can play. Or take the men's Sunday performance jogger. These pants are perfect for lounging around in or going out for a good run. Vuori is an investment in your happiness. For our viewers, they are offering 20% off your very first purchase. Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at vuori.com/Campea. That's VUORI.com/Campea. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. Go to vuori.com/Campea and discover the versatility of Vuori clothing. And thank you to the good folks at Vuori, some of the most comfortable stuff I've worn, for sponsoring this episode of the John Campea Show. All right, guys, let's now finish off all the questions you guys have sent in. What do we have up next?
Callum Locke, thrilled. Booked my Multiverse of Madness tickets for May 5th in the UK for
Nice.
just £5, $6.50 US. What? See you soon, Nicole Kidman. She does Odeon ads in UK. She's everywhere.
Doesn't AMC own Odeon? I might be wrong
I would
about
assume
that.
so. That's why she's
I might
doing
be wrong
those.
about that. But I'm awesomely excited that you got your tickets, Caitlin. Good on you, man. I hope we all have a good time. And man, good price for that too. Well done. All right, what's next?
Luke Batman 0707 sending in an almost $20 super chat.
Thank you, Luke
so much.
Batman.
It is possible a new Batman game could get announced. It's been literally years since Batman Arkham Knights as released. Thoughts?
I mean, they did announce, what's the name of the new game coming where Batman's
Batman
not-
Knights. Or Arkham Knights.
Arkham
Excuse me,
Knights, is
Arkham
that what it's
Knights.
called? Yeah.
Yeah.
A Batman game without Batman. So that is coming. I'd be down for trying another
Excuse
Batman
me.
game.
Gotham Knights. Wow, there's just too many things. Gotham Knights.
Gotham
is what it's
Knights.
called.
Thank you. But I think I heard that got delayed.
I think so. And that's the one that's going to just be about kind of the Bat fam and the Court of Owls and all of that. But we'll see when it
Look,
comes out.
you know what I really want? I want a Batman game in the vein of an MMORPG. Like in the vein
That would be
of a
so awesome.
World of
Yeah.
Warcraft or a Star Wars Old Republic or something like that. I
Absolutely.
would love that.
That'd be rad.
Oh,
That
my
would be
God.
so good. Like the Spider-Man game,
Yeah.
but with Batman.
But with Batman. All right, what's next?
NSG MMA. Hi, John. Big UFC event this weekend. Do you think Kazmat Chimaev will smash Gilbert Burns this weekend? Also, does the Will Korean Zombie take the title from Alexandra Volkanovski? Thanks, sir.
No, Volkanovski, there is nobody. Here's the thing about that division. There is nobody that can beat Max Holloway except Volkanovski. And there's nobody that can beat Volkanovski except for Max Holloway. I mean, that's their division. And I love Korean Zombie. I do. But he's going to get wrecked. I mean, listen, in the MMA world, anybody can land a weird out of nowhere spinning back elbow and drop something. I mean, yeah, that chance, there's a puncher's chance for Korean Zombie. But yeah, and while Gilbert Burns is an absolute savage and an absolute beast, I love that guy. He's going to get smashed. He as well is also going to get smashed. So, but it is going to be a great UFC. I can't wait for this one. All right, what's next?
Ron W357. Hey, John and crew. I know Rob is happy, and I have to say that's a spoiler. So we're going to move right on.
Okay, next up.
South Texas Shark. So how does Aaron feel about snakes?
Love them. I used to have a boa constrictor named Bo. Yeah.
You did?
I did.
But
I had
you don't like spiders.
yeah, too many legs. I like things with no legs at all. Yeah.
Too
We used to
many
go on
legs.
car rides and I would just like lay him across my dashboard and we'd go for rides and he'd bask in the sun. Little Bo, I miss him.
All right, what's next? I'm surprised by that.
Dance Wizard Media. Hi, John and crew. Just got my ticket in Dolby this morning, and I'm
Nice.
super excited. Also got a double feature for Sonic 2 and Everything Everywhere this weekend.
Oh, nice.
Love the show. You guys are awesome.
That now I have not seen Sonic 2. I'm seeing Fantastic Beasts tonight, and then
go
I'm
see
seeing
Sonic.
Sonic tomorrow. You are seeing Sonic tonight.
Yeah. You want me to send you my out of the theater review,
I
John?
would love to hear your out of the theater review. I
gotcha.
really, really would, because but that as a double feature sounds like fun.
So fun.
But like you are going to love. I mean, I don't know this for sure, but I think you're going to love Everything Everywhere All at Once, Dance Wizard. I hope you have a great time. By the way, do email us and let us know what you thought about your double feature. All right, what's next?
City of Swift. I'm glad the Northman is getting reviews that I find to be positive. I'll be going for Bjork as she's my favorite artist, so it'll be a nice extra if the movie is great. I grew up listening to Bjork.
I could not tell you one Bjork song.
I only know she wore a swan.
Yes, that's all.
That one?
What about a Sugar Cube song?
No, I like Bjork.
I don't know what that is.
She was before she was just Bjork. She was in the Sugar Cubes.
I've never even heard of the Sugar Cubes.
Oh,
So
She just has such a unique original sound that
and look.
that I think is fabulous. I mean, I feel like she is quite the definition of an artist.
Yeah.
Not just like beyond her singing, she is a fully fledged artist.
Well, you
She did
point
some
out the
great
one
music
dress that
video
she
work,
wore
too.
Yeah.
that one time. It was amazing. All right, what's next?
Oh, it's oh so quiet. That's right.
Gary Meyer. So come on, Rob. Can you be a little bit excited about Picard season 3? A little bit?
I think you're asking a lot.
Let me tell you about that. Okay,
we go.
they announced yesterday that in Picard season 3, the entire rest of the cast of Next Generation is joining the cast.
Brent Spiner.
They're he's in season
in there.
2. They're in the middle of season 2.
was a new announcement.
They just the 6th episode of season 2 is dropping this week. I've never seen ever in history a TV series announce what the next season's all about. They're like, hey, everybody, we're finally going to turn the show into what you wanted it to be from the beginning. We're going to bring the entire cast of Next Generation back for season 3. What about all the actors who still have 5 more episodes left of season 2 to go?
I will give you that because I went, well, I guess everything's going to work out. I mean, I know it would.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it's just like,
but-
why would you do that?
Lots of TV shows in the middle of a season announced, hey, it's been picked up. We've got next season coming back, or 2 more seasons
Yeah.
picked up. This isn't unique.
That's true.
This has happened many times.
But they don't
before.
say what's going to happen.
I mean,
they just
and they
say we
also-
got another
I mean,
season.
yeah, they don't give a specific, but all they're saying is, oh, and these people are going to be in the cast.
Yes, but why not release that, say, at the end of the season?
But what harm did it do?
Well, I think it harms. Look, to me, it's a clear message where they're stating, not many people are watching the show. Please come. We're going to try and make you excited about
Oh,
it.
they are. They do have viewer numbers.
So-
they have some of the best viewer numbers on the platform that they've had.
Have you looked at Paramount Plus's ratings?
Oh, I know, but this is like one of the most successful things that they have on the platform. So I mean, people are watching it. Have you seen?
Not as many
Should
as
we
they
talk
want.
about Star Trek's ratings before the new era stuff? I mean, I just think it is
Actually,
healthier and bigger than it's been in generations.
If you look at the ratings of where Enterprise was when it went off the air,
I was
they
on
would
that.
they would love.
on
I
that.
know you were the. They would in
I was prostitute number 1 on Star Trek Enterprise, the episode of Carpenter Street.
in Carpenter
that was
Street.
my first job. Yeah.
Those ratings, they would kill to have those ratings today for Star Trek. The ones they had on Enterprise when it was on that network.
But of course, that was on free network TV.
I know.
This is on thing, and this is one of their better performing shows.
Before
I mean,
streaming and
Yeah.
when there weren't like this many. I mean, that was when Fox was like still a novelty.
I just think that I've never
Look,
seen
okay,
anybody.
sorry, I
do
got to
it.
stop it. We can't get engaged in another Star Trek debate right now. All right, let's keep going. What's next?
Gage Crampshy, you all are doing excellent work.
Oh, and he
Sleepy
put in like a $40 super chat on
Yeah.
that. Thank you for that so much, man. Thank you. It's always nice when somebody just wants to write in to say something encouraging. Thank you so much for that, KG. You really appreciate that very much, man. All right, what's next?
Jay Master. Hey, John, ESPN Plus Tom Brady Man in the Arena series is streaming now on Disney Plus here in the U.S.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that I am a big Tom Brady fan, and I have not watched this yet. Everybody tells me it's brilliant and amazing, and I do got to get caught up on it, and I will definitely
How many
watch that.
episodes is it? Do you know?
I don't know.
I want to watch it.
But I have no excuse to have not watched it right now because I have ESPN Plus. So I could have watched it there, but yes, I do need to get around to watching that. Thanks for the heads up on that, J Master. All right, what's next?
Another from Big D Studios Entertainment. Here's some help on a fun idea for a new name for your show, if you do end up changing it. Since you don't want your name in it, I thought of Daily Entertainment Show or Talk.
Little generic.
There's already the talk, so I think that might be a little confusing. if we
There's
just
always
use
And
already
Daily Show.
the talk
And the Daily.
Yeah. See, here's the thing,
Or
Big D.
Daily
I
Show.
haven't come up with any good names myself.
Aaron Cummings experience.
There is a name that I'm playing with because it's a name that already exists, but the people who own that name are offering to give it to me. And it's not bad, but I haven't come up with one that I really, really love yet myself either. But it's, hey guys, keep sending in suggestions. I'm open to them. All right. Thanks a lot for that, Big D, man. All right. What's next?
Harv's K. Hi, Aaron. So how many punches to Campea's arm out of 10 did you rate Ambulance again? Hashtag Aaron's movie reviews.
Punches the arm.
I gave this movie 8 punches.
8 punches. Honestly, she had a good time. And listen,
I had a great time.
I think it's got
fun.
this right now. The Rotten Tomatoes rating. I mean, you might want to double check this, Aaron or Chris, but I think the critic ratings on Rotten Tomatoes are in the 70s. So I mean,
will say this: I ran out of my soda, and I really wanted another one because it's the only place that I can get cherry vanilla Diet Coke, and I did not get up and get a refill because I was like, I have no idea what's going to happen, but whatever it is, it's going to be bonkers, and I don't want to miss it.
Ambulance
Wow.
is still sitting at 70% with its tomato meter. We don't have an audience score whatsoever yet, though.
yeah, because it hasn't
Yeah.
opened yet. But yes, hey, listen.
It's not bad.
I mean,
No.
I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it. But it does have a 70%. Keep that in mind. All right, what's next?
All right, from Blue Jay. Can't wait to see Sonic 2 tomorrow. Looks very faithful to the source material. Plus, Jim Carrey is in it. Hopefully, it won't be his last Sonic movie.
Yeah,
Probably.
I mean, it may not just be his last Sonic movie. It might be his last movie. And if it is, he's going out for all the right reasons. Like he said the other day, he goes, I have enough, which you never hear anybody say. I have enough. I've done it all. What's there left for me to do? I love painting. I love hanging out, being painting, and leading a quieter life. I mean, hey, that's all the right reasons. So if it is his last one, hopefully he'll go out on a bang. All right, what's next?
Michael Serta. Yesterday, I saw a trailer for A24's new Marcel the Shell with shoes on. It looks like the most ambitious, weirdest, cutest movie I've seen. I'm so excited about
Okay,
this.
I saw everywhere on social media that was going around that I didn't watch it. Who does the voice of it again?
Jenny Slate.
Okay, that's right. And who's of course John Raphael's sister, who is also in Everything Everywhere All at Once, by the way.
She is?
Yes, she is.
And Captain America's ex-girlfriend.
Oh, did really?
Yeah.
Real life, she totally broke his heart.
Yeah.
He said that she was the one that got away.
Really?
Yeah.
Big time. Yeah. He's talked about it publicly that she literally like broke his heart.
Chris Evans.
Chris
Yeah.
Evans. Yeah.
You know what? I did know that. So I think they were on again, off again for a while, right? Yeah. Listen, if you want street cred, I broke Chris Evans' heart. I'm the one he pines after. Like that's street cred right there. But where were the? Oh yeah. So did any of you watch this trailer?
I haven't seen the trailer,
I
but I
haven't seen the
loved
trailer yet
Marcel the
either.
Shell.
But it's from A24, and I'll just watch
Yeah.
anything they put
I
out.
love that little voice.
All right. What's next?
From Remmer Bulldog, got my Doctor Strange tickets, and Moon Knight episode 2 was great. Can't wait for the spoiler discussion.
Yeah. By the way, I said a little bit earlier the spoiler discussion was going to be at 4. It can't be at 4. So because I forgot, I have a 5 p.m. screening today of that, so it's going to be earlier than 4. I will let you know what time it will be. Just keep your eye on the social media and on the channel. We will post what time. It's probably going to be like 2:30 or 3 that we'll have to do it. But keep your eyes open. I'll let you guys know. I totally forgot about my screening today. All right, what's next?
Fam TV, Michael Jackson biopic from The Departed producer Graham King and Gladiator writer John Logan for Lionsgate, backed by the official MJ estate. Thoughts?
I did not hear that. I didn't hear
Well,
that.
I mean, there's the Michael Jackson Broadway show is on right now.
Yeah, that Paul Taswell, who's on our channel, who designed the costumes for Hamilton and West Side Story, did the costume design.
Yeah, one of my best friends is actually married to the lawyer for the Michael Jackson estate.
But see, that was one thing. I had high doubts that they would ever do a Michael Jackson biopic and the reason I felt that is because there's no path to victory there. There's not a winning situation there. That movie is either going to, it all depends on how do you depict him? Because if you depict him a certain way, you're going to piss off half the people in the world. If you depict him another way, it's going to piss off the other half of the people in the world. I don't see the win here.
Well, I think
So I'm
that
very
part
curious.
of the depiction will probably be what he was exposed to as a child, the trauma that led him to be a very problematic. I'm not going to say anything else because it's going to be a whole thing. But yeah, you're right. That is definitely going to be something that's going to get people talking a lot. It'll be very controversial.
Yeah, what approach do you take? Because obviously there's an elephant in the room that I don't want to get into. But
Right.
with Michael Jackson's like, so how are you going to portray that? Are you going to portray that as something that he did? Are
Because
gonna
you
portray it as
can't
something that he
not talk about it.
Yeah, are you going to portray it as something that he didn't do? And I don't know. I'm curious. I'm really, really curious. All right, what's next?
From Katie Rodriguez, hi John. Sorry I couldn't make it to the Batman screening.
That's all right.
Finally saw it yesterday in IMAX and loved it. Love your show, and my husband loves his signed Hulk and King Richard Blu-rays.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
remember
okay,
that?
Her husband, and he was like dressed so nice with the
Yeah.
gorgeous tie.
Oh no, that is Keegan. This is the
Oh, shit,
guy
Keegan,
who
I'm
was
supposed to send you
wearing
something. Crap, I forgot.
Logan commented on his shirt. I couldn't remember what fandom it was
But
from.
I remember that. Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's a shame that you weren't able to come, Katie. It was a pleasure to autograph those things. And you're right. The Batman, up until I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once, was my favorite movie of the year. It is now my number 2 favorite movie of the year right now, behind Everything Everywhere All at Once. But I did love it. I still have only seen it twice. I need to get out there and see it again before Warner Brothers pulls it down and just puts it up on streaming, because this is a movie you got to see on the big screen. This is definitely a big screen movie. Thank you for writing in, Katie. All right, what's next?
From Andrew Poor. Hey gang, guess I was one of the lucky ones. Got my Doctor Strange 2 ticket this morning. Will AMC ever get it together? These site crashes are unacceptable.
I get it. Like, there is a normal flow of traffic that comes in, and when you get sudden extreme spikes, it becomes difficult. But this has been going on for years. And it's not like it's not possible to handle that kind of. There are many websites that handle much more traffic all the time. So yes, there is a way to fix this, and they gotta get it. They gotta get their acting gear on this. They really do. All right, what's next?
Edmontonian. I was elated to see the TNG crew will be in Picard season 3. It was one hell of a teaser. But man, please don't ruin my childhood.
We'll see. Look, it's going to come down to this. I think, look, the battle lines have been drawn. People who do not like new Star Trek are not going to like anything new Star Trek.
That's not true, though.
It's been my experience.
All we want is great characters and great stories.
And they've given it, as some of us believe. But see, that's the thing. It goes both ways. I feel like there are people who really do appreciate and like the new Star Trek stuff, and we seem to like the new stuff that comes out. There are people who don't like the new thing of Star Trek because it doesn't work for them, and so they don't like the new stuff that comes out. And I think we've got enough new stuff now that, I mean, look, there's definitely some episodes and things about the new Star Trek that I don't like. I'm sure there are probably some episodes and things about the new Star Trek that you do like. But generally speaking, the new stuff that comes out, come on, you've said you like the first episode of the new Picard season.
I like,
right?
You know what? I like and then I've never seen something fly off a cliff so fast and far.
But while there are exceptions, I generally like, because I've seen enough of the new Star Trek to know that when new stuff comes out, I'm probably going to like it. And Rob has seen enough now to know that when new stuff is coming out, to know he probably won't like it.
You know what, though? I go into every episode wanting to like it.
I'm not saying you don't, but generally you probably won't. You've told me that yourself.
Well, the problem is you've got the same team in charge of all the live action
again,
stuff.
I need to cut us off here because we've already spent
I didn't bring it up.
I know.
I didn't bring it up.
We already spent like 20 minutes today talking about debating Star Trek stuff. All right, what's next?
Kevin Cow got my Doctor Strange tickets, and Moon Knight is nuts.
And first of all, congrats on getting your tickets, Kevin. And yes, Moon Knight so far completely nuts. It's a huge win already. I cannot wait for the rest of the next 4
We
episodes.
met Kevin Cow at the Batman.
Yeah, getting our Ultra Bow.
All right. What's next?
Adam K. What were Aaron's thoughts on the Oscar ceremony?
You know what?
We talked about this last night.
This was actually the first year that I did not sit down and watch the Oscars in full, because it is pilot season, and so I had 2 massive auditions that I had to put on tape. One was 10 pages, the other was 13 pages, and I was trying to prepare for that. So I just caught it in bits and pieces. I loved the new way that they set it up with the tables. I was thrilled.
I like that too.
I did too.
I really like that setup. I was thrilled that Jessica Chastain won her award and got her standing ovation. I was thrilled that Will Smith won his award and also got a standing ovation, because, you know, these are commemorating people's body of work. And having worked with him on King Richard, I remember literally doing that scene, which was intense when you watch the movie. Imagine what it was like actually filming that scene. And I remember going, this man is going to win an Oscar right here. I knew it, and I was so happy that it actually happened. So even though I didn't watch it in its entirety, I thoroughly enjoyed seeing who the winners were.
And you were the villain of that scene.
I was.
You know.
All right. What's next?
Al Renshaw. In the new studio space, can you finally do a cooking face-off between Ray and Chris? Still would love to see the crew do a peacemaker dance.
Yeah, no, that's the time for that passed 72 hours after episode 1 of Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Like if you were going, believe me, when I first saw it, I thought, how can we get our own version of this dance? But it had to happen within 72 hours of the first episode. After that, it's way too late. Way too late, unfortunately. All right, we'll see what happens with season 2 if they get a new choreography for season 2.
Are Ray and I ever going to cook?
Well, not in that studio, no.
Okay.
All right,
That's
what's
fair.
next?
Jack Master Norad. Hey, guys and gals. Wow, Moon Knight episode 2 was so wicked.
It was so good, Jack. I got excited when I started playing it. I saw 52 minutes. I'm like, great, a good, solid length episode, and it just fired on all cylinders. I was so happy with it. I'm glad you liked it too, Jack Master. All right, what's next?
Spencer Anthony sending in some support, so thank you so much.
Thank you, Spencer. Appreciate that, man.
Jim X Mafia. John, Third Eye Doctor Strange and Wanda creepy voice makes my spine chill.
Oh, so
Mr.
good.
Boop-a-boop-a-doop. Moving on.
Okay. I will say this too. Oh God, how do I put this? Okay. So it's funny how, I'm sure they'll explain in the movie, how Wanda's vision or Wanda's accent kind of comes and goes. But I'm sure that's going to be explained in the movie itself. All right, what's next?
All right. From Wayne Edwards. Hello, as a lifelong Star Trek fan, 52 years old, I love the trailer for Strange New Worlds, and I have an idea Rob hates it.
I was so wrong about that because Rob wasn't here the day we talked about the Strange New Worlds trailer, and I said, you know what? I mean, Rob doesn't like new Star Trek, but I think he'll like this trailer. I was wrong. Rob didn't like this. Rob came in the next day. I'm like, did you like the trailer? I bet money that you like this trailer. He didn't like the trailer.
They're going to... I'll refrain from...
But I was wrong. I thought
I
you
will
would
wait.
like
You know what? I'm willing to wait. There's a lot of Strange New Worlds that could be good. So I love Anson Mount as Pike. I'll say that.
All right. What's
The
next?
chat was real sweet on that day too, and they said that you guys look alike.
Oh yeah, the chat's talking about how Rob's the new zaddy.
The hair's
Yeah.
actually quite
The
similar.
hair.
That hair, yeah.
Zaddy Rob Burnett.
All right. What's
I'll get
next?
the blowout.
There you go. Casey Mack, going to give Morbius a chance today, but later tonight I'm also going to see Sonic 2.
Got a feeling you're probably going to like the latter better,
What
Casey.
a delightful
But hey,
palate
listen again.
cleanser.
A significant majority of the audience is going to see Morbius are saying they're having a good time.
Yeah.
So hopefully, Casey, you will be one of those as well. Hopefully, you like both. All right, what's next?
Michael Pacheco, reminder that Oscar Isaac will be playing Solid Snake in the Metal Gear Solid movie. Can't wait.
Is he though? I haven't heard anything on that in a while.
He'd be good though.
By the way, I'm not. Oh, he would absolutely be good. I'm not saying I've heard anything to the contrary. I'm just saying I haven't heard nothing about that in
Solid
a while.
Snake.
Yes, from a video game franchise.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything for a while. So I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm not suggesting otherwise. Okay, what's next?
All right. From David Cabrera.
Yasmar?
Oh, shoot. Yes. Yasmer Hidalgo. Tinfoil hat. Interesting how AMC stubs and A-list accounts sign out during the times of high traffic. Almost like they want priority for full price.
Again, I am going to choose to give the benefit of the doubt to Adam Aaron and AMC that they are not purposefully trying to bend over and screw their loyal AMC customers, their AMC A-list members, to, in a sneaky way, get their money. But I would be lying if there wasn't a little bit of suspicion. It's just funny how other things are working on the site and that one doesn't, and how through Fandango you're able to no problem buy your tickets for an AMC screening. Oh, nuts though, our AMC A-list verification can't work. Oh, well, guess you got to pay for these tickets. But I'm choosing to give them the benefit of the doubt.
You know what? I think I'll bet you. I'm not going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'll bet they're even going to come out and say this is their first example of not. They're going to use that multi-tier pricing that he's a big fan of.
And applying it to A-list?
Yeah.
If they do, I'm canceling my A-list. I'll tell you that right now. If AMC does that, I am canceling my A-list. And I've always said here, I keep going. Even though I've got some issues with AMC, they're still my favorite movie theater chain. I've got A-list, and they're close to me. If they do that, it's done. I am canceling my A-list, and I will drive the extra couple of miles to go to the Regal. That's
What did you do
Unlimited.
today? Wait, what did you do today when you bought those tickets? When you couldn't get A-list?
You went somewhere else.
No, you bought.
Oh, yeah, I went somewhere else. And guess what? By buying the tickets on Fandango, AMC loses some of their money. So I'm pretty happy about that.
You went somewhere else, but they still wouldn't allow you to use A-list even on Fandango.
Yeah, they said, we're having
The
technical
point
problems.
that I'm making is you bought those tickets, even though you're an A-list member anyway.
Oh.
Well,
That's what they wanted to prove.
right. I think,
And they did it.
yeah, they did it. But, I mean, I will give them the benefit of the doubt that it was legitimately a site error because of the traffic. I am choosing to believe that, Rob.
I would be
I am
curious to
choosing
see
to
if
believe
people
that.
who were able to get into the site and buy their tickets who were not A-list members, did they have the same kind of problems? Was it problems universally across the board, or was it just problems for A-list?
It was problems for universally for a lot of people. But
Okay.
again, it's just
Then it
funny
doesn't
that
really prove
when you
that
went to
much.
Fandango,
I'm with you.
you could
Yeah.
get the ticket, but so we can connect everything to AMC's site well enough to buy the tickets. But we can't connect the AMC A-list.
That's the thing. The AMC A-list didn't work on AMC's site, nor did it work on Fandango. That makes no sense at all.
And by the way, I have nothing to say that it didn't work
Unless
for
they-
anybody on that anybody on AMC. I wasn't able to get my tickets.
I'd be
on
curious.
AMC.
I mean, that would be something interesting if
Yeah,
our
I'm sure
viewers
some
could tell
people
us
did.
that in the comments.
Several people said they used their A-list, but they got in before the trouble started happening.
So that's why I'm choosing to believe them. But I
right.
will say this: that if we find out that number one, AMC did this on purpose, or number two, that they're doing this so they can actually, A-list now doesn't count for opening weekend of big movies. Not only will I cancel my A-list, not only will I never darken the door of an AMC theater again, not only will it become my life's work of the John Campea Show to destroy AMC theaters, you're going to hear a rant of mine like you have never heard before. So, but again, I am choosing to give them the benefit of the doubt and that this was all technical error.
Please do it
And
on
it
a
could
Wednesday.
very well be. Usually, Occam's razor is true. But in this case,
All right, let's keep going. What's next?
All right, from David Cabrera, sending in an almost $20 super chat.
Oh, thank you, David.
Hi, guys and gals. As a trucker, I get to watch you in a different state every day.
That's funny.
Thank you for all you do. Love you all.
Thank you so
for
much.
driving that truck, man.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are seriously doing that is challenging work.
Especially now with the
Thankless.
supply chain
Yeah,
issues.
yeah.
My
That's
uncle,
how we're getting everything.
who's passed away, my uncle was a truck driver. And he wasn't one of my Italian family. He married one of my Italian aunts. And when I was still in school, when I was in grade school, like grade 7 or 8, my parents got me out of school for half a week to go on a 3-day truck run.
Oh,
and I
wow.
got to ride in the big rig with
Really?
my uncle. And
That's so cool.
I mean, you're on the highway. You want to know how big of an industry, how important that of an industry is. Just next time you're driving the highway, take 30 seconds and count the number of trucks. It's crazy, how many people is needed in this industry to keep everything moving and all that kind of stuff. So thank you, David, for being one of the guys to keep the veins flowing.
When I was a kid, one of the things when you're kids, you want to be things. I wanted to be a truck driver because of BJ and the Bear.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch BJ and the Bear, the TV series? And also the movie Convoy and the song, "'Cause We Got a Little Convoy." I wanted to be part of that convoy.
I wanted to be a mud flap model. Kidding.
You still can
a
be one.
silhouette mud flap model. All right, what's next?
From Dalton Gray. Hey, John and crew, got my tickets to Doctor Strange. Moon Knight was incredible, and it's looking like an awesome show. You the man, Rob.
Well, thank you. But did you use your A-list?
Yeah, were you able to get?
Did it work?
Let us know.
That's the key. And it's funny how many people are writing today to say, got my tickets, and Moon Knight's awesome.
Yeah.
Moon Knight has been awesome. Actually, here's the bad thing. It's been so good, I'm going to be real disappointed if it takes a turn
Dude,
for the worse.
yeah.
Because now my hopes and expectations
Exactly.
are so high from how good these first few episodes
But I
have
just
been.
can't imagine that Oscar Isaac would choose to be in it if it wasn't good all the way
Well,
through.
He
I
was
mean,
Apocalypse.
That's the problem. It's everybody
Yeah, he was
thinks-
awesome as Apocalypse. Why'd you have to bring that up? Come
But
on,
that's the
man.
thing.
I liked Apocalypse.
Saying.
The script always reads great.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? It's you don't know till you start. Actually, you don't even know when you're shooting. You don't know till you get into the edit. That's the only time when you really start to realize it was something really.
And he
working.
probably only got the pilot script because the other episodes weren't written at that point
Possibly.
when he signed on.
By the way, can I just say, Oscar Isaac kicked ass as Apocalypse. He was so good.
I'm so happy you think so.
Look at his line readings. I mean, that guy was committed, man.
He was committed.
He
Yeah.
played a great. Just because the movie might not have been, the last half might not have been as satisfying.
All right, we need to keep going. What's next?
Jermaine Smith sending in an almost $20 super chat. Got my tickets for May 5th in Dolby Prime, baby. This multiverse about to be straight madness.
First of all, I'm super jealous, Jermaine, because that you got it in Dolby. I wasn't able to
Yeah.
get the tickets in Dolby because I wanted 6 tickets. And by the time I did, it's like the worst tickets left were in the Dolby. So I went to the IMAX, and I was actually able to get some 6 good seats in IMAX. So hey,
Oh, well.
if it can't be Dolby, at least it's IMAX, and that's going to be a good experience. But I'm jealous, Jermaine, that you got yours in the Dolby. I'll make sure I'll go see in the Dolby on the weekend. I'm going to go after the show's done. I'm going to go back online and buy some more tickets for other days.
See
as
if you
well.
can use your A-list.
And I'll see if I can use my A-list this time. We'll see if that works now. All right, what's next?
All right, from Abraham Ruiz. After 50 minutes trying to get them through the app and the site, it never worked. Went to Fandango. It was such a breeze. What the fuck, AMC?
Okay, so here's the question, Abraham. If you're still watching and if you're in the live chat, if you are an A-list member, can you tell us in the live chat if you were able to apply your A-list membership by buying them through Fandango? Because I was not, and I've heard from other people who were not able to. So I'm hoping that you were. I'm really, really hoping that you were. All right, I'll keep my eye on the live chat. Everybody keep your eyes on the live chat for that. See if Abraham's still in here. All right, what's next?
All right. Michael sending in just some support. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
Jim X Mafia. Didn't we read this one already? Yeah, these are all repeats.
Oh my God,
Oh
that's
my
a lot
goodness.
of receipts.
Okay.
All right.
Carlos had to buy my tickets on Fandango. There's a 0% chance this wasn't done on purpose to keep A-list members from claiming their ticket. Do better, AMC.
Carlos, again, I posed you the same question. You had to go to Fandango, but did your A-list work through Fandango? It sounds like it didn't because it's supposed to. I've bought tickets on Fandango before and applied my A-list, and it gets me my tickets for free, but let us know if that's the case. All right, what's next?
From A. Marcellus, out of Star Wars movies, Endgame, Infinity War, and No Way Home, today was the worst. AMC failed me, but Fandango came through for opening night.
I'm going to tell you, Marcellus, that today was not the worst. Because there have been days with those other things. Like I remember the Star Wars one in particular, like when The Force Awakens was coming. I mean, it was Armageddon. I mean, like nothing. Like sites were, you could even get to the site. At least today you could load up AMCtheaters.com website. But I mean, everything, Adam, Fandango, Regal, AMC, it was the apocalypse for them. So yeah, it's not as bad. It's not as bad today. All right, what's next?
Most people are saying that they couldn't get A-List to work on Fandango, but Andy is saying that they were able to get tickets for both Friday and Thursday using A-List. So they didn't have any problems.
Okay,
on
so
both
it
Fandango
does sound
and
like it's a
AMC.
technical issue, but if I find out
Still
otherwise. All right, what's
sketchy.
next?
From Salamander Man. Got my tickets for Doctor Strange for Thursday, May 5th.
Nice.
The week of y'all should try to cover the first Doctor Strange on Movie Club.
That's not a bad idea.
That isn't a bad idea.
Yeah, I think maybe the week, maybe that Tuesday the 3rd, maybe we do Doctor Strange that day. That's actually not a bad idea. I like that. Well, okay, done. Book it.
We can't do Tuesday the 3rd because it hasn't opened yet. Tuesday, because it doesn't open on the 6th.
No, we're talking
the
about
original,
doing
the
the original Doctor
I
Strange
thought we were
for
talking about
Movie
doing the
Club.
new Doc. Okay.
Oh no, we don't do brand new movies.
I
for
thought that
Movie
it
Club.
would be the first one we did. That's what I thought you meant. No,
No,
the original Doctor.
because we'll do the spoiler discussion for Doctor Strange
Yeah.
Multiverse of Madness the following day. All right, what's next?
I misunderstood.
From Tim, got my Doctor Strange 2 tickets.
Nice.
I haven't been this excited for a movie since before The Force Awakens.
I gotta tell you, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Like I've been excited for Doctor Strange 2 because it's Doctor Strange 2. It's an MCU movie, but it hasn't been like top shelf super excitement for me. But I find my excitement building. I am really getting there.
I think the movie looks so bonkers and there's so much stuff swirling around it. I just want to see what they've done.
I will say though, I still think the Northman looks better.
Well, the Northman being an original vision.
Yeah.
I'm always more excited about that than a franchise property, but still,
We'll see.
as far as a franchise goes.
It is Sam Raimi.
And it is
Sam
weird.
Raimi. All right, what's next?
We've got some support from Andrew Davison, Monkey of All DJs, and Fredo.
And then Jim Mafia, that's the
That's
bonus
another
one again,
repeat,
right?
yep.
And with that, guys, that'll do it for today's installment of the John Campea Show. Thank you so much for being here, guys, and making this show part of your day. Big special thank you to all you guys who sent in those super chats. Number one, because you gave us great fun things to talk about. But number two, because you supported this channel as you did it, and all of us involved with the show. Thank you guys so very much for your support. Again, a little bit later today, maybe 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock, we will do our open spoiler discussion for Moon Knight episode 2. Again, I said 4 earlier, but I forgot I had a screening I had to get to at 5. So we're going to say for 3 o'clock for that. Make sure you guys come back and join us if you are into Moon Knight at all. And of course, we will be back again tomorrow for the next installment of the John Campea Show. I want to thank everybody sitting around the table. Of course, we got Rob, we got Aaron, we got Chris. Joey Bishop is there too. Thank you guys for being here. My name's John Campea, and until next time, my friends, bye-bye.